All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lunch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this, even though you missed the best part, guys. The live party is the best part, so make sure you are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. Let's also say thank you to my6shirt.com, the only place to get your very own The Indian Jesus official merch. More coming soon only at my6shirt.com. All right. We got Opus in the building. We got Zippy in the building. Melted Mind Media. What is going on? Shout out to Kick. Hopefully everything is working out with Kick. Doesn't seem to be working out with Instagram, but if there is anybody on Instagram, let me know somehow. Welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? So, there wasn't anything really big that happened, but luckily, our good friends at Valuetainment and our good friends at Turning Point USA put on a little event, and even though we weren't able to attend, we definitely will be able to tune in. As always, if you're not here for the video, please do let me know.
Okay, so I don't know how often we do podcasts on a Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now, right? Because we're in Phoenix right now.
Yep. Right.
But we were invited to this.
Oh, we starting out early with a gifted membership from Zippy the Strange here. Shout out to Dan the Man Jensen, finally getting his due as a gifted member. Thank you. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Your wish is my command, sir. Thank you.
Event by this guy who is a very special guy. He's got how many people? Make some noise, everybody. Make some noise. They're here. I don't know, 13,000 people in the room. Insanity at Turning Point USA. We got Adam here. We got BizDoc Tom. We got Vinny and the great Charlie Kirk in the house.
Give it up for Charlie, ladies and gentlemen. Sick event, Charlie.
Thank you.
Absolutely
I got to
awesome.
tell you, one of the things I learned about you today, which I had no idea.
Thank you,
I
Dan,
did
brother.
not know your grandmother voted Republican her entire life, and ever since she's died,
That's right.
she's a voting Democrat.
That's right. Ever since.
Congratulations.
Every year. That's a joke, YouTube.
That's
Yeah.
a joke,
I
everybody.
don't want people to go. So, Charlie, how you feel right now
I
with
feel
this event
great.
you got?
We first of all, credit to the staff, the Turning Point USA staff. They work their tail off. They work all year, first on campuses and in churches, and this is a culmination of all of it. It's a celebration of the grassroots army that we've built at Turning Point USA. But PBD, you host amazing events. Honored to speak at one a couple months ago. You know what it takes to put on events like this.
Yeah.
Guys, come on, don't be doing that. Don't spend all your money on me. Just if you got it, then I very much appreciate it. But don't go broke trying to support me. Thank you so much, brother.
To execute on a standard of excellence like the Turning Point team does is not easy. And I'm so thankful for our team. From the graphic design team to the social media team to people that have been here literally sleepless nights for a week to make sure that everyone here can have a life-changing experience. So I'm thrilled for our team. Glory be to God. He's blessed us amazingly here. It's the big.
I mean, aside from that part, obviously, it's again we talk so much about community, and then we don't really do too much. So them actually putting on AmericaFest is bringing people together, just like he's saying.
biggest
Beautiful.
Event, multi-day event in conservative history, and also obviously the biggest event in Turning Point USA history.
That's powerful to hear that. Seeing the energy. And by the way, if you're here, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, if you saw it online, it was absolutely electrifying. We want to get into some topics. We're doing podcasts right now. We got some stories.
Yep.
One
Well, $3, it means a lot to me. So thank you again.
of the stories I think we can get into, we'll get into here in a minute, is what Kobe Covington said about LeBron James not standing up in the NBA game, the standing ovation. We'll talk about that. There was some extracurricular activity.
Let's jump into the meat. We are not
selling clients on its platform like OpenShift and Watson X, which generates a multiplier effect. CFO Jim Kavanaugh revealed that every $1 of revenue spent on these platforms results in $3 and $5 additional spending on software, and between $6 and $8 additional on services.
So they're talking about James O'Keefe got some more, I mean, it's not Project Veritas anymore, it's OMG, but he got another one of his videos from IBM, what is it, International Business Machines?
Rob, I don't know if this story matches the other
let's see what they got.
I can connect the two though, PVD, because it's super important.
Okay, so then let me read the whole thing and then I'll turn it over to you. IBM, while offering its own public cloud computing platform, partners with leading technology companies like AWS, Microsoft, and others. These partnerships have driven significant bookings for IBM, with Kavanaugh stating, our strategic partnership, we've got multi-billion-dollar book of business with AWS, with Microsoft, and SAP, and SAP, and next up are going to be Salesforce with Oracle and Adobe coming up. So tell us more about the story.
Yeah, please do, because that was just a bunch of jargon.
So that story didn't get a lot of headlines about AI, it's developing. But what the other IBM story is, which is going viral thanks to James O'Keefe, is this one, where IBM was caught on camera, their CEO saying, give bonuses only to black employees and don't give them to white people. We should actively discriminate against white people.
What else is new? What else is new? Just blatant racism against white people. All right. I guess that's, I mean, what is there to say?
America First Legal has slammed IBM. They're potentially going to sue over a Title VI complaint. So what do the two have to get together?
America First Legal slams IBM for racially discriminating against white and Asian Americans. Files federal civil rights complaint.
Right. Anti-white attitudes, IBM, and AI.
Tell us.
Well, AI, it's who's going to write the ethics and the morals of the AI of tomorrow? So AI is...
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen that, like, ChatGPT has a bend. And you can get around it if you know what you're doing. But the programming is based on the people who program it.
It's going to become a woke super weapon.
Oh, shit.
So think about it. Who's going to tell AI right from wrong? Well, the code of ethics that govern IBM is going to be infused into the operating protocol of AI. So that story doesn't seem like it's related. Okay, they have a press release. They're making all this money in AI. So let's pretend you go into the AI that IBM is developing, a ChatGPT type model, right?
Yeah.
You ask the question, can black people be racist? And the IBM AI would eventually
say, of course not.
They would say, what is racism? And they'd say racism is
prejudice plus power. It's prejudice plus power. Without the power, then you don't have anything. Affirmative action. Yep. Government sponsored racism. It's been there for a while. So I don't know what we are surprised at. Shout out to M169. Welcome to the party. I guess YouTube's still not working with the polls, but right now the question is, did you see the stuffer video? Did you see the stuffer video? Yes or no? Obviously, by the end of this, you will. But if you know, you know. Welcome to the party. We also got Dan Jensen. Dan, the man, Jensen, pillar of the community. Thank you so much for being here, brother.
It's not individual prejudice, but a power struggle of what I'm getting at is that two seemingly disconnected stories here. IBM making a ton of money on AI and their woke culture. This is the danger, the clear and present danger of artificial intelligence is less about Terminator. That's a thing, but it's more about giving the woke mind virus a thermonuclear weapon to redesign society. Because at some point, something has to tell the AI what is true and what is good. And the IBM code of ethics, I kid you not, I have it in front of me, and you guys can look it up. IBM has a 10 commandments. Elon Musk just responded to
a 10 commandment, more dogma. Wonderful. That's exactly what we need is more dogma.
10 commandments, a DEI 10 commandments, allyship commandments. This is IBM. Openly acknowledge privilege and systemic racism exist and result in trauma. 2, never question the reality of our black friends and colleagues. 3, reject the idea that race is political. Accept that white people are responsible for dismantling racism. 5, understanding only white people are racist.
Wait, this is
an official document of IBM.
IBM's document.
Rob, can you pull this up so we can show this to the audience if you have this document?
Yeah, that's it right there. This is O'Keefe broke the story. Number 6, knows the black community owes us nothing in this work. 7, require acknowledgement and repair of inevitable mistakes. 8, is never rooted in white saviorism. 9, sees the black community as a group of individuals and not as a monolith. 10, does not seek recognition or praise for a job well done. So
I mean, these are this is spitting in the face of the values that we, as Americans, regardless of your politics, regardless of your religion, regardless of your socioeconomic status, are supposed to hold up. And they're just like, nah.
So this is called allyship. So I want to just emphasize one of them, and I was just sprouting up to my head. No, understanding that only white people are racist. That is the 10 commandments of IBM. So the 10 commandments of IBM are quietly going to be inputted into the AI of tomorrow.
And again, this is not something that is starting now that we have to worry about in the distant future. This is just an extension of what's been going on for years.
That's connecting those two stories, Patrick. AI is becoming a woke super weapon.
This won't work, though, because this is, again, another one of those ideas that's just not going to work. Folks, if you're looking at this online, Rob, can you do me a favor?
Okay,
Play the
won't
first
work.
minutes
All right.
of O'Keefe's clip while the CEO of IBM is speaking. We just want to play the first clip.
Arvind Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead and play this
He's
clip.
the CEO?
He's the
The
CEO.
This
Top
is not
right.
some low person. It's
Okay,
the CEO.
this is the CEO of IBM. Go ahead.
So this is this is what OMG put together.
We take underrepresented and gender. You got to move both forward by a percentage. That leads to a plus on your bonus. By the way, if you lose part of your bonus. I'm not trying
More white people, less money.
to finesse this. So for blacks, we should try to get towards 13 point something %. On Hispanics, you got to get into the mid-teens. So let me say it. Asians in the US are not an underrepresented minority in a tech company.
James O'Keefe here outside of IBM's corporate headquarters in Armonk, New York. An IBM insider has provided us with an internal video showing the CEO of IBM, Arvind Krishna, using coercion to fire people and take away their bonuses unless they discriminate in the hiring process.
Oh, it's not just the culture, it's your job to be a racist.
We go deeper into Red Hat. Multiple leaders over the last year plus that were held accountable to the point that they're no longer here at Red Hat because they weren't willing to live up to the standards that we
The standards. They don't even have to say the DEI standards anymore. It's implied. These are the standards.
set in this space. This conversation takes place every single day, and a lot of it's behind the scenes.
They terminated executives that didn't discriminate, yet another violation of Title VII. One of the biggest companies in the world, one of the most valuable and recognizable brands on earth.
I mean, after so many of these, what can we really say? But what can we say at all? But just remind you how far this goes.
IBM Insider has provided us with an internal video showing the CEO of IBM, Arvind Krishna, using coercion to fire people.
You can pause it here. You can pause it here. So
we had, most of you have not seen the stuffer video. And I mean, I lied a little bit. I obviously can't show the video, but you're going to see it when you see it. Oh, man. So that sounds like some Nazi mind flaying BS propaganda brainwashing. Yep.
Okay, Tom, here's a question for you. I got a question for you. You've been around the block, and a company, this is a Dow 30 company.
They're worth $150 billion.
They're not a small company. They're a $150 billion company. They may do something like this. This is as of when, Rob?
Yeah,
this is 1 day?
148 billion. I was right, yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Go to a 5 day. Go to 5 days to see what happens to their stock. Not a big movement. Go to 1 month to see what's happened. Really not a big
They're
movement.
up over the last year, by the way. They're up 40% over the last year.
How sustainable?
Go to 5 years.
Tom, how sustainable is this to have ideas like this within a company as big as IBM?
Well, I would think that it's completely not sustainable at all. But the fact that we are now seeing what James O'Keefe has gotten, they knew what they were saying, what they were doing, what they were thinking, what they were planning on doing from that time. If we look at
they're up
the thing here
over the last
if
year.
they go to the year,
40% over the last year.
So let's look at, this is just July. This is just July, and they were down here. And we're now here in December. They definitely knew what was going to happen. So they definitely knew that stuff was going out, and they certainly didn't know that James O'Keefe was going to get in there. So this is all like directly planned. This is specifically what they are looking for.
How sustainable?
Go to 5 years.
Yeah. Tom, how
See?
sustainable is this to have ideas like this within a company as big as IBM?
Well, first of all, Charlie makes a good point. I'll connect back to just quick yes or no, and we'll nod here. Do you remember when ChatGPT
Yup.
first came out and kids were asking it like questions, and then people asked questions about faith, and suddenly it was clear that ChatGPT had a bias. Remember this?
Yeah.
We all discovered it, and it was almost seen as, you know, no big deal, nothing to see here. You're just using ChatGPT online to get something answered. Oh wow, it's got a bias. Now you can see where the bias goes, how deep it goes. But let me tell you, my first job out of college was with IBM. I went to IBM Sales School, finished #1 in my classes. You know.
Yep.
You know what? Back then, this didn't exist. There was a thing on the wall. It simply said, "Respect for the individual." Whoever the individual was, just respect for the individual.
This is what year, Tom? What year?
Yeah, that's a good question. What year? Because that notion, that idea, that work culture is gone.
This is 1987. And right underneath it, it says our motto is simply think. And that's where it was.
right.
And that company has
The
devolved
CEO had
into
it on his
this.
desk. Just think.
Think. And that's what it was. That's devolved. I don't think this is survivable long term. The
Shout out, Ian.
IBM's not going away, but it's not survivable in its current state. It's going to change. It's going to be hit. Because you know what? If IBM has an office in Oklahoma, there's a certain governor that just signed an executive order but you can't do this specifically. And there's a Supreme Court case this year that started with the Asians suing
Harvard,
Yale for
was it
admission.
Yale?
For admission. They lost and they went to the Supreme Court, and then we got the anti-discrimination in admissions.
I mean, he's saying you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. But guess what? They're doing it. Shout out to David Banner. Welcome to the party. Send toilet paper IRL. You got it. You got it.
It's all connected. IBM, this is going to cause cracks. Some people have they can't continue this. It's not sustainable in its current state.
You know how they say, go woke, go broke. What's actually going to happen to IBM? What are the ramifications of something like this coming out, Charlie?
Well, I think get woke, go broke is more on a smaller level. Like we definitely saw it on a large level with Disney, but also there's a hedge against that because of how far that company reaches. But I think it's more like if you like with Bud Light, if you're trying to make a play of and pander and use the wokeness. But if you are like what IBM is doing here is not the same thing as get woke, go broke. They're just like, do you know what I mean? There's a much deeper thing in what they're talking about. This isn't a cash grab. This isn't a marketing grab. This is the inner working behind the scenes of what's going on. And it's a lot worse at IBM than these guys. No, exactly. That's what I was saying before. They were showing the stock price for a year, and it's gone up. As to think that those things aren't connected, of course they are. And yeah. I was going to say that the idea of being sustainable and people aren't going to be about it doesn't matter anymore. We're at the level of $150 billion companies. Those are the ones that, as long as they meet their DEI standards. Profits are negligent. They don't care about that because all the money is going to be coming from government.
Yeah, it's not like Bud Light because IBM is not used by the every.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you?
Right out of as soon as I said it. Shout out to Indy Boom. Welcome to the party, brother. Good to see ya.
It's not like Bud Light because IBM is not used by the everyday person. Right. IBM is a lot of tailored type of contracts. It's literally called international business machines.
That's another good point, that it's not something that, because they're doing egregious stuff, that it's going to be as in your face to the normal person. You really have to be in the weeds to know this. I think, did any of us, I mean, it sounds like Ian knew what was good, but did anybody else know that this kind of stuff was going on at IBM before just now? I didn't.
That's what IBM stands for. And Red Hat is their hiring agency. Red Hat is the tech sourcing firm for them. So what's going to happen, I don't know, but it should be a reminder that as we barrel towards artificial intelligence, we have to figure out very simple answers to the question of what is true, what is good, what is right or wrong, by what is the code of ethics that we operate. And this is something that you look at what IBM believes in. They believe their 10 commandments are understand that
disgusting.
Only white people are racist, except that white people are responsible for dismantling racism, so on and so forth.
And I think another big aspect that he's maybe not articulating here is how to phrase it. He said something. What did he just say?
White people believes in, they break. And this is something that is right or wrong. By what
oh yes. So these fundamental philosophical questions of what is right and wrong, what is good, what is true. It's forced. Morty, go lay down. Go lay down. There you go. It's forcing us to have to reckon with these things in a way that, you know, if you didn't really want to think about that stuff up until now, you just didn't have to. And now, because we're offloading our ideas of these philosophies onto the technology, we have to understand what it is that we're offloading. Instead of just like, oh, we have these esoteric ideas of what is true and what is love and what is good. No, we have to have distinct answers to program this.
Is the code of ethics that we operate. And this is something that you look at what IBM believes in. They believe their 10 commandments are understand that only white people are racist, except that white people are responsible for dismantling racism, so on and so forth. And so artificial intelligence is going to be used as a way where an 8-year-old is going to type in very basic questions, and they are going to socially reprogram millions and tens of millions of people. And this is why Elon, I think Elon, with his prophetic ability to see things before they happen.
Prophetic, not pathetic. Prophetic, meaning like a prophet, being able to see into the future.
And immense amount of courage. I'm a huge Elon fan. I think Elon, what keeps Elon up at night, and the reason he's acting the way he is he's connecting dots. Woke mind virus with AI. He has said this as much.
And there's a lot of other people who stay up at night thinking about the scary things that are going on in the world, who are connecting the same dots. So if you're not paying attention, it's all right there for you.
Where there will be a time where you ask AI something and it will give you an answer as if it's authoritatively true, even though it isn't.
It already does that. It already does that.
So we keep hearing all this type of stuff. See what IBM, you just see this anti-white rhetoric is happening.
There's a war on white people.
And here's my thing. What's the overall, like, what the hell are they trying to do? Like, what's going on? They're actively trying everywhere, all over Europe, everywhere.
That's a pretty vague question, but I mean, what are they trying to do?
It's just an influx of everybody else and to hell with us and to hell with our country.
So part of it is very masochistic. There are some people that just hate themselves, honestly, and they've been told to hate themselves, filled with guilt. It's basically slow motion suicide. However, whiteness is a filler term to just say power structure. Those people in power, right? So it is a Marxist framing of the world, oppressor, oppressed, and they say white people are the majority, therefore they are in control, and we must try and dismantle them. Look.
Gotcha. That makes more sense now. It's not about whiteness. It's not about race. It's not about any of that. It's just that's the backdrop that right now the white people have the power. But if they, like Ian's talking about, if they get the power, they're not going to become the whites. They're not going to become the oppressors.
Look at the mayor of Boston.
Foolishness.
Pulling it up right now. Yeah. Boston Wu, who has segregated Christmas parties where white people are not allowed. By the way, there are black-only dormitories at dozens of colleges, probably hundreds,
Michigan?
Dozens that I know of. Black-only dormitories.
I think for sure University of Michigan was one of the first that had lunchrooms that were segregated. It was white only and black only. Like, what are you doing? We fought for this.
And
against
this is where it ends up. It ends into this really sick racial apartheid state where white people have less rights. I'll give you another example. When monoclonal antibodies were distributed in the city of New York, until they got caught, they were prioritizing people of color. In the city of New York, life-saving monoclonal antibodies were distributed and were prioritized.
I did not know that. More BS. More race-related BS to do with COVID. I thought we were done with that. As he says, the woke diversity movement is segregation 2.0. Yep.
To people of color, and white people had to wait. Now they got caught. It's against the law, and they retreated. Go look up the new University of Michigan Hippocratic Oath, where the doctors and nurses of tomorrow. See, look at that. New York City will consider race when distributing life-saving COVID treatments. So where are we heading? We are headed to an AI-based social credit system where if you are white, you have points docked against you. That if you're a person of color, you get special tokens.
And so understand that. Understand what that actually means. That if we are all on this social credit system, that we should all start out at 0, right? We should all start out at 0 or 100 or the same thing. But let's say we all do start out at 100. But then you will get doc points for being white, and you will get extra points for being black. It's going to get to the point where you're going to get extra points for being a woman. You're going to get extra points for being fat. You're going to get extra points for being poor. It's going to be a completely inverted system. And for what? For what? Just so the people in power can maintain that power.
This is a reconfiguration of racial apartheid. It's the death of meritocracy, and it's a backdoor way to destroy Western civilization.
Yep.
Because Western civilization is against this crap. It's against the toxicity that race matters.
One more thing on this topic.
I would ask, like, nobody wants this. So how is it getting pushed so easily? And I would think that the answer has to do something with, well, they were doing so much gradual pushing over the last 20 years that now the ship's left the station, and so they could just do whatever. But it doesn't, there's something amiss that if all of the people don't want it, like I get it if it's 51% of the people want one thing and 49 the other way, that's one thing. We're talking about like who wants to be, be crushed by the machine, right? Nobody. Guys, can I just get a couple more likes in here? Thank you.
So a month ago, maybe even 2 weeks ago,
They can hear us now.
Hey,
Hi,
guys.
everybody.
Hi, everybody.
See, now we can get some spirit going, right? I'm glad we got that.
Night and day. Yes.
That's like when you guys don't say that you can't hear the video, and I'm going off reacting like, oh, see that? And you're like, oh, guy, I can't hear the video.
That's good.
Shout out to James O'Keefe, because why is this so important? A month ago, not even less than a month ago, the biggest story in the news was what was going on with ChatGPT and Sam Altman, right? The hostile takeover of the company. He was in, he was out. Now he's back in officially. But these types of conversations, especially around AI, need to be had now. Yes. The sooner the better, for the sake of humanity.
Yes, and
True.
so
okay, before we move on, guys, whoever has the funniest comment about this lady right behind Sauce here, whoever has the funniest comment gets a $5 cash app.
What Elon
Is gonna make that much
wants is he says, why can't we have an AI that is not programmed political, as if you're asking MSNBC the questions, or you're asking Nicole Hannah-Jones, you're asking Robin DiAngelo. That's a good goal, whether it's achievable or not. And so, Patrick, that's a question. And the question for you, because you alluded to this, we didn't really land the plane. Is this popular? Is this going to continue? Here's the issue. The regular people here at AmericaFest, by the way, people of all different skin colors and backgrounds and diversity, they think this is terrible. The question, though, is that the elites, they're buying into this. The elites are bought into an anti-white, anti-Western, anti-Christian agenda.
And I believe that, but how far down does that go? Because there are people, there's a certain point at which it seems like it would be a pretty straight line of whatever the factors behind wanting this anti-white, anti-Western agenda, that you're either above the line or you're below it. I don't think there's a lot of gray area here. It's pretty much bad for everybody except the people it's not bad for. So how does that get done?
This is going to reach a boiling point because the grassroots, the people aren't putting up with it. This is a top-down revolution.
I don't disagree. I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think it's going to work. I think it needs to piss off the people who are wanting to fight for it and stand up, kind of like what Elon is doing. We talked about it earlier.
You go for this guy too. Anybody in the background? Best background comment
today, where there is 3 different ways to contribute. One is with your time, one is with your money, one is with your voice. If you have a platform, talk about it. If you got time, give your time to somebody. If you got the money, make the right investments into companies that want to do something about this, and that's what Elon Musk is doing.
Yep. This is what we talk about all the time. Your attention, your time, your engagement with what is happening. Whether it's commenting, chatting, liking, sharing, all of these things are how you push back against this. And it's not as powerful as holding office and just writing a check to somebody. But there's a lot more of us than there are of them. And so as long as we keep up our end, we will win in the end. But we got to do it. You can't just sit around and look and wait for other people to do it for you.
Elon just spent $100 million. I want you to think about this. He put $100 million into a new university. Elon wants to open up a new university in Texas. This is according to the story, The Verge. So Elon Musk plans to establish a university in Austin, Texas, with a $100 million contribution from his charity, the foundation. The university will focus on STEM education and offer instruction in subjects like math, science, engineering, and physics.
This sounds like a really good thing. This sounds like a really good thing. But every time these celebrity schools open up, they're never good. Now, they always come from leftist people like LeBron. But I don't know if I would trust that. Would you send your kids to the Elon Musk University? Yeah, that's what we're doing. Making jokes of the woman in the background or the Indian dude behind the lady behind Sauce or the Indian dude behind PBD.
It aims to provide hands-on learning experiences and simulations while seeking accreditation from Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commissions on Colleges. In addition to the university, Musk's plan includes building STEM-focused primary and secondary schools that will teach subject beyond STEM. These K-12 schools will initially enroll around 50 students with the intention of scaling up over time. This is an example of somebody that's making their money and using their money to fight the elites. When you see Elon doing something like this, Tom, for somebody whose daughter, we cannot publicly say it, yes or no. We cannot say it or we can't say it.
No, I don't know who that is. Sorry.
Don't say the school. Okay. Tom's daughter had a school she wanted to go to.
Yeah.
I'll give you where it's at. It's in America. Okay.
It narrows it
That
down.
narrows it down.
Pretty
Very
good.
specific.
It's not Oxford.
No, it's not Oxford. She got a 1560 out of her 1600. As a parent, Tom, when you hear somebody like Elon Musk, who's got a few $100 billion, he's putting $100 million into schools, what does that make you think about? Because if he's the pace setter, maybe other people are going to say, I want to start my own school as well. What does this make you think about?
Well,
because he's Elon, I don't think that really anything that he does is enough. Like, just because he does it is going to be enough to set a precedent for other people to do it because he is that guy. But that being said, I don't think it, is going to make people not, if they're thinking about it, I don't think Elon opening a school is going to make them not want to. So we said a lot of the schools are propped up with no clear foresight to work with the market. He needs more vocab, lots more vocab. Indeed.
Especially think about, and I've had this discussion with my daughter and my wife, and I said, I think you're the last generation that goes, at least from our family, into a traditional education institution as we know the structure today. I don't think my grandkids would do this.
Nope.
I think that you have people like Elon Musk, like you and me, that feel passionate about education, that are going to build a next generation and next level of education in America. And what I think about, I really think this is the last generation, at least I'm going to be involved with, that goes to these traditional colleges in the traditional way. And by the way, it's really sketchy right now. But
that's what I was about to say. That from everything that I've heard, that there was a big shift. There was a big shift after, because I graduated in 2012. So I remember that people were talking about how starting in 2013, whatever happened, there was a big shift. And I don't know if it has to do with Obama or, whatever else. But I mean, this is not news. This is a decade old. So unless we're talking about yet another degree of how bad college campuses are getting, this is old news, brother.
She's got a very specific major. She wants to go follow that, but that's what I think about.
I got a question.
And I love what he's doing. I want to support him.
Let's be creative. And let's get some ideas here. Okay. Let's just say we have an unlimited checkbook. We can use some of our resources to start a school.
Come on, go
What
back.
would you build as a school to be unique and different than other schools out there? How would you build a school? What would you do in your school? This goes to everybody here. Tom, I'll start off with you.
I'd go right back to the tradition of debate, because debate has become, just loud argument. There was a tradition of debate where you had a elegant way, and there was rules of debate to come bring in a point, have a counterpoint, a rebuttal, and then a review by your peers at the conclusion of that debate, called a discussion of your classmates or a discussion by a panel. I would bring back debate of both sides, bringing both sides in so people could see the logic and the true winner rather than being told who the winner is.
I agree with that. And I like that. And you remember or actually it wasn't, but we did a stream that somebody had taken one of Destiny's streams and he put like Destiny in the corner and the other person in the corner. And then it was like a play-by-play. And every time, somebody would throw out a claim and then they'd put it up on the screen. And if just videos like that, if they were more popular, then the entire goal that I'm trying to accomplish of people being able to interact with each other, even if they don't agree. I mean, that would help so much just to be able to see, oh, that's what, even though I'm hearing words, there's a dance going on. There's things happening that I need to be aware of. And I don't think that people even really think of debate and conversation and discussion. I don't think they think of it that way. They just think of, this is the thing that I think, and I'm right because I'm me.
Vinny, what would you do? I'm curious.
I mean, I remember Pledge Allegiance. Did they take that out of school too? Probably. Just something in the beginning where you shout out your country and you basically get everybody on the same team. They stopped doing all that.
Charlie, you got a school, whatever we want to call the school, we can call it. What would you have in your school that would be different than other schools?
Yeah, first, I think Hillsdale does a great job.
What about you guys? If you were going to make your own college, what would your college have that other colleges do not?
And I think Hillsdale's America's greatest college, and they're a sponsor here, and I love them. Hillsdale.edu, they're amazing. Actually, the website is charlieforhillsdale.com if you really want to check it out. But I would make it different. I would combine mind, body, soul. The theoretical school is you have to be physically fit, you have to have a certain BMI, you have to commit to a spiritual life, and you also have to develop your mind. And I would do it.
So far, I'm with him. I definitely, obviously, need to hear more about what this spiritual life is. But I do think that is very much missing from secular education because of the fact that Christianity and other religions are so heavy that there's just an assumption that you're going to get the spirituality filled at home. And so let's do queer studies in school. You know, I mean, even as an atheist, there's a point there.
But in a classical way, the whole center of higher education should be that there is a truth, and let's figure out what that is. The reason the woke stuff has started is they start from a truth claim saying there is no truth. As soon as you acknowledge there's an objective truth of the universe, it destroys all woke. Bingo. I hope everyone understands that. How do you beat the woke? As soon as you get people to acknowledge that there are natural laws of the universe that transcend your existence and some things are objectively true, it absolutely obliterates the woke. So, as higher education.
So that's their dogmatic belief. On the left, the dogmatic belief is that there is nothing that is true. There is nothing that is objective. Everything is just whatever you want it to be. That is the dogmatic thought. So anything that you want to say is, they can just say, well, that's like your opinion, man. But in a much more insidious way. Obviously, on the right, it's the fact that, humans are incapable of, creating a society without a God watching over them. But that's neither here nor there. But that is, on the left, the dogma. That is what it is. There is no objective truth. And they will not budge from that. They will not entertain an argument that would allow them to believe in an objective reality.
Has dismissed that, the woke has been ascendant. So that's what I would do.
Adam, by the way, how many guys want to hear what Adam has to say about the school? Anybody wants to hear Adam's thoughts here? What would you do with your school? So I have a feeling. What? If Adam started a school.
Yep, that's what they say.
90-10 ratio, I believe.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you not?
100%.
It'd be like a nightclub in Miami. 90%.
I mean, I technically don't necessarily. I don't believe in anything objective. In the as far as the universe, I am with them in the sense that it is all subjective. That doesn't mean that that what is positive for a particular subjective experience and what is positive for the collective subjective experience cannot be objective. This is why you have to understand the differences between these things. And again, as we're talking about facing these philosophical truths, when we're offloading our principles to AI, we have to know what they are. So he says the reason the woke stuff started is due to the anti-individual nature of religion. As the system wanes, it creates more conflict and past rival theories crop up. Interesting. I like it.
10% women, 10% guys. It's gonna be the best college of all time.
Right.
But with that being said, rule number one, no dudes are allowed to play sports with the females.
I like that.
Straight up.
Yeah. I like that.
Okay? Like just
low hanging fruit, but all right.
Not happening.
Very
in my
unique
school.
idea. It's just like, man.
I understand.
So
that.
you're saying if Leah
And we will
Thomas
do like we did back in the day in Little League, cup check. Let's see what's going on here.
Got you.
I also am all about what is good for the collective, just not superseding what is good for the individual. I am all about what is good for the collective after we take care of what is good for the individual. So he said, life in general is subjective. Your life is very objective. Yeah, and I mean, you could play around with the semantics, but essentially, yes, I agree.
Number two, when we started the podcast in 2020, I think the number was like 11-1 liberal teachers
Yep,
versus conservative teachers.
that's right. 11-1.
Can we just get that back to an equilibrium situation where there's an equal amount, like you talked about, debate, conservatives, liberals, talk to each other, because what's going on with the smartest, useful idiots in the world at Harvard, MIT, Penn, we're seeing what's going on there. These kids are geniuses, but they're being fed a ball of crap from these teachers.
True. And shout out to Indie Film with the $15 Venmo. Thank you, sir. I know. But Morty gets a treat with every single donation. Come on, eat it, bro. Thank you. And of course, that makes you the new co-sponsor of the stream. Thank you, sir.
Because how many kids in college are actually going to stand up and confront their teacher on maybe some ideology that they perceive as wrong? They're going to shut the F up and follow along and then just go along that path. So I think it's problematic that there's so many teachers that are just basically indoctrinating kids. There's no more education, it's just indoctrination in school. Now, back in Florida State, when I was there playing ball and having fun, we didn't really have to get into
back in my day.
They go to class at Florida State?
No, but Charlie, that's how you end up with a podcast with PBD.
And Pat, I think especially in the younger age, like what do cops walk around that?
What about Arizona State, guy? What are you talking about?
I didn't go to college.
He didn't even go to college. Yeah,
We're here.
Don't go to college. It's a scam, everybody.
Agreed. There are very few exceptions where you will know, okay, obviously I've got to go to college for this. But for the most part, don't go to college.
Is a scam.
You should write a
the
book
university system is broken.
Hey,
the college
I think
debt is
that
ridiculous.
looks like a good book. It's called The College Scam.
The college scam.
You did write a book about it.
Pat, what do cops wear on their the cameras? The
Body
cam?
Body cam.
Yeah.
Oh, kids up to a certain age, like when they're young, I want body cam. All the
They
kids.
have cell phones. That's
No.
body cam.
I want a cam like you as a parent to see what the hell they're teaching the kids.
I totally agree.
Have a
I mean, you could just have one camera in the corner of the room. I don't know why the child needs to wear a body cam, but I'm with you.
camera, go like a GoPro on your kid. I want to hear if I want to tap in during the day and see what the hell you're teaching my kid. I want to be able to come in and watch.
Here's the best argument. You drop your dog off for doggy daycare, and you can log into an app to see if your golden retriever is being pampered.
It's getting a
That's no lies detected. That's literally how it works. And for those who don't know, I am a professional dog trainer, so yes, I would know.
When you drop your kid off to a public school, you have a moral right to find out what that teacher is teaching.
Thank you. And Charlie, even if it's one camera in the classroom, if
There you
you're
go.
a dad,
He found it eventually.
yeah,
He
if
found
you're
it.
a dad and you're home, Adam, I want to be able to just go, okay, what are they doing? If you go in there and everybody's wearing rainbow shit and dancing around, I'm coming to the school. You know what I mean, Tom?
Claire.
What the hell's going on?
You want me to put this out?
There you go.
What the fuck?
Phoenix.
Welcome to the West, people.
Guys, that's the first
Yes.
Middle Eastern cowboy
The
ever.
Middle Eastern cowboy.
Hey, we put the college scam written by Charlie Kirk here. You got your book autograph.
So, PBD, I want to hear your answer to this question. How would you
You're not gonna
transform the
take this out.
college system here?
He tried.
But your hair still is good.
Ask the question.
No, yeah, because we've had this conversation before, but I think with Charlie here, and obviously in the light of this book, what would you do? Because you have 4 kids. Some may go to college. Some might go on a sports scholarship. You've thought about this.
I'm going
Tom
to do
talked
one
about
thing
the
that's going to
Thank you for the likes, guys.
be slightly different. Here's what I'm doing. If you go to my school, if your kids are going to my school, I need your involvement, the parents' involvement, period.
Okay.
If the parent is not involved, your kids can't go to my school
That's
because I'm going to need your help. If we're going to spend time challenging your kids, pushing them, driving them, you have a certain responsibility every month for you to come to school.
I like that. Why is there this expectation that you wouldn't be involved? I'm just a teacher. You're the parent. The expectation from the get that you can just drop your kid off at a building and somebody else will take care of it is nonsensical. But it's been so normalized that for him to say this, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. What a great idea.
What do you mean
The
by
kid
this?
You can't put the individual above the collective while at the same time say you want what's best for the collective. Yes, you can. It's called America.
Parents in the
The
campus.
parents are coming.
Like Rodney Dangerfield and Back to School?
No,
That's
that's not
great.
what I'm talking
Oh,
about. I'm
okay.
talking about you're
This
coming
is a
to
model
school.
that works in the inner city on the
You're,
charter schools.
you're
It does.
coming to school because we're going to also work on you
Or
becoming a better
weekly
parent.
meetings.
Because we're going to become collectively with the team. So we'll update you. Hey, let me tell you what's going on. Here's what happened this week. This is what we're working on. These are the things that we want to talk about. What
All
parents
right,
are.
so I'm gonna skip forward a little bit to they're talking about the pay gap.
Now, gentlemen, I have something I want to share with you guys. I don't want you to be offended or upset, but I think it's not fair. And in about 2 minutes, I think you're going to be very upset with this one area. If I were to ask you right now, the top 10 male models in America, how much they make versus the top 10 female models.
A year?
A year, total. What's the ratio? Let me ask you one more time.
I'm gonna say, I want to say 5 to 1. I'm gonna say 5 to 1. Let me know in the chat. How much more do you think the female models make than the male models? I think it's 5 to 1.
Time. Top 10 male models, good-looking men, right? Versus top 10 female models. What do you think the disparity is? This is a travesty.
10 to 1?
I'd say it's 75 to 1.
75 to 1. Come on.
Rob, can you please play
Those
this
my media
clip?
says
I wish
10
you
to
guys could
1.
see it, but you'll be able to hear it. Rob, go ahead and play this clip for us, please. Go ahead.
10 top earning male models earned a combined total of $8 million from September 2012 to September 2013, a fraction compared to the $83 million their female counterparts raked in over the past year.
Melty underguessed it. That was not even enough. More than 10 to 1. Insane.
Sean O'Pry is currently the world's
Good-looking
highest
guy.
paid male supermodel, earning $1.5 million last year.
Oh, that's cute.
By the way, this is 10 years
and
ago.
it's there for a reason, and it's been there. I don't think it can be closed.
Females, for example, have a lot of platforms that they can use to jump off of, like Victoria's Secret contracts, cosmetic contracts. Males don't have that.
Rob,
But
you can
O'Pry
stop this
isn't
here.
complaining.
Top 10, 8 million versus women, 83 million 10 years ago.
I mean, if we're just talking raw numbers, you would have gone over if you said 11 to 1. So, I mean, that's as close as you can get without, I mean, that's as close as you can get. You said 10 to 1. It's like 10.3 to 1.
Do you
Spot
think,
on.
folks, do you think it's fair that women, top 10 women models make 10 times the amount of money top 10 men make? Is that?
Yes. Yes. That is fair. That is what fairness means. Hey, shout out to Miss Anthropic Altruist. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. We just found out that the when it comes to the modeling industry, that the women, there is indeed a wage gap, that the women make more than 10 times what the men do. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party, brother.
Fair, yes or no?
Yeah.
Do you think it's fair? How is
Yes.
that fair?
That's
Why
so
is
sexist.
it fair?
So sexist.
Are you not offended by this video?
I don't like it.
The market decides. Men are visual.
That's one of the main reasons I left the industry. I was like, I'm not doing this shit anymore.
By the way, shout out to
And
Vinny's
I'm happy
abs
where we
these
are.
days.
Yeah.
Vinny, just become trans and go get the paycheck.
Oh
That's how you
shit!
get that money. Vinny Mulvaney, ladies and
There's
gentlemen.
Ah,
Everybody
Vinny
knows about that
Mulvaney.
Will you sponsor my boobs? I'll
I
get a
would.
really nice. I'll get a rack.
$10,000 today.
So,
What is
I
happening?
thought Iraq was a country.
No, not a rack. Not a rack. Anyway.
By the way, you know what is funny, though? As
Something
much as
else.
we're having fun with this and
Yeah.
we're joking around, this is when somebody sits there and says, well, look, who wants to go watch male models the way they want to watch female models?
Nobody. Since Tropic All-Star says I'm late again, you're doing the after party in the VC? You're goddamn right. Every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right after the stream, we go into the Discord server in the and have our after party in the video chat channel for members of the channel. It is free to join the Discord if you like. There's a free chat channel where we're in there all day, but there's a whole bunch of channels and a video chat channel where you are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're on screen with me and everybody else. You can come up if you want to. You don't have to. Either way, it's a grand old time. Come and join us. One of the mods could drop the link to the Discord.
You know, back in the days, there was Mr. Universe. Who follows bodybuilding? Anybody knows Mr. Olympia? No?
Heard of him.
Back
That
in the
guy
days,
does.
Ronnie
used
Coleman?
to be something called Mr. Universe. And there was something called Miss Universe. Guess what no longer exists? Mr. Universe. Guess what still exists today? Miss Universe. Unfortunately, Miss Universe is being ran by a man today. Trans woman. I don't know if you guys have seen that video or not.
Trans women.
Trans
By
women.
women.
That's right.
But is it still? Whatever.
He's about to go bankrupt. He bought it for $20 million. He's going bankrupt. They don't know what they're going to be doing with it.
Wonder why.
This is another example
Should've
where
gotten NBA instead of boobs.
when you show the numbers, somebody can look at it and say, give me a flipping break. It's the market capitalism. Whatever's getting more eyeballs, let them play ball. Adam.
Well, look.
Yeah, and of course, and I mean, I'm assuming that you guys understood why he picked modeling, because in every other performance-based, money-based, viewing-based type of industry where men do better, the cry is that, oh, well, the numbers are different, so it's not fair. Yet, of course, we have the one industry where women make a lot more than men, more than 10 times as much, and everybody's fine with it. Everybody is fine with it because it's not equality or it's not equity that we're after. It's equality of opportunity.
Look, this might be a little controversial, but this goes down to basically what Charlie always talks about, traditional gender rules. It's no secret that women, through all of history, have been beauty objects, and men have been success objects. I live in Miami. Believe me, I see fat, sloppy dudes worth $1 billion hanging out with supermodels. How did that thing work out? If you want to look at deeper thing in the numbers, because Natalia and I covered this, look at the disparity in the NBA versus the WNBA. Talking about putting butts in seats, the top NBA guy makes $50 million.
All right, come on. We hear this argument all the time. Let's move to the next chapter here. Oh, it's the stuffer. It's the stuffer. So, if you have no idea what I am talking about, in the name of the stream, the White House staffer stuffed on cam, it's exactly what you think it is.
Senate staffer alleged by conservative outlets.
No. You got to dwell on the headline.
Yeah.
You have
Well,
to.
listen, I'm reading what NBC. If they say it, it's correct, right? If they said, you got to believe them.
Well, I know, but the fact that what the heck does a conservative outlet have to do with this?
Charlie, I know you're dying to give us your feedback on this. Let me first read the story. Let me read it.
You're right.
Charlie's fired up.
Folks, Senate staffer alleged by conservative outlets to have had sex in a hearing room is no longer employed. NBC News. So Aiden, a Senate staffer accused by conservative outlets of engaging in sexual activity in a Senate hearing room, has been confirmed as no longer employed by the U.S. Senate. According to a statement by his office, the allegations stem from a video published by the Daily Caller claiming to show a congressional staffer involved in sexual activity within a Senate hearing room. Now, listen, I don't know if we want to show this clip or not, but
Please don't. Please don't.
Rob has been showing it to me all day.
Yeah.
Well,
Listen,
just
we're all grown-ups here. We're going to show you the clip, and you're going to like it.
if you haven't seen it, we're not going to show it to you.
Oh, thank God. But thank God. But what we are talking about is a congressional staffer filming P-Hub content in the U.S. Senate. And yes, those are two men. Oh, boys getting bent over and stuffed. Not working there anymore. Not working there anymore.
You've seen it. Here's a question I got for you. When you see something like this, okay, and by the way, did you see his response? What he said?
I have the whole.
Can you read his response?
So, by the way,
Most millennial response.
Listen to his response.
So
Go
mind
ahead.
you,
It's our fault he had gay sex in the Senate
well,
hearing.
it's homophobic.
How dare you
And
make
you
me
will
do
be,
this?
And you will be held accountable by a court of law.
By the way,
for
yeah,
judging
by the way,
Can we at least show an image? We don't need to see the video.
No. So this has been a difficult time
Sauce is like, let me see that dude getting bent over.
for me. Hold on, I'm going to read it like him. As I've been attacked for who I love to pursue this political agenda. While some of my actions in the past have shown poor judgment, I love my job and would never disrespect my workplace. Any attempts to characterize my actions otherwise are fabricated, all right? And I will see by exploring what legal options are available to me in these matters.
I think you've done all enough exploring, buddy. Come on.
Wait, fabrication?
No, it's
called
fornication, Tom. That's what it is.
Thoughts on this, Charlie?
Yeah.
Man, this is Sodom. I mean, pure and simple. This is Sodom and Gomorrah stuff. I mean,
It was right there. Good one. Good one. You got to say it.
will be judged. I mean, the desecration, the depravity of what was once sacred. But honestly, this is a pattern. What is holy, and in Hebrew, holy means separate, elevated, is being
Oh, it doesn't mean like a place to stick a thing?
Being desecrated on a daily basis. Joe Biden had not alleged, but this like transgender stripper goes topless on the White House lawn.
Hurrah!
Alleged by a conservative outlet.
No, meaning alleged being, I don't use the word transgender. I think it's all fake. But the right there, right? The Joe Biden stripper on the White House lawn. That
was Trans Day, right? Or Pride Day?
They had the pride flag center stage. Dylan
I
Mulvaney
remember
is
this.
given
Yep.
special access into the White House.
Yep.
Cocaine is being done in the West Wing. It should.
Okay, but let's be honest. Come on, Charlie. First of all, if you're not doing a bunch of blow, which you seem like the type. Just saying. Just say. Actually, I don't know how many of you are on Androids, but do you think Charlie Kirk does blow? Yes or no? I think he definitely does. But it's certainly not a new thing for politicians and people in Washington to be doing blow. Come on now.
Shouldn't surprise us that Senate staffers are not just having gay sex in the Senate hearing room, they are filming it. They're filming it. Come on. And then he has the...
Yeah, why are you filming?
Yeah, or some anatomy.
Yeah.
He has the balls.
Patrick,
Yeah.
how dare you? How dare you?
How dare
You made me do this. Look what you made me do. Yeah. Look what you made me do. You made me have by the way, let me just hold on one second. This is a pattern I'm seeing from the media. The very similar, look at the Politico story, by the way, of the Virginia House candidate. It came out recently, Virginia House candidate sex tape. This whole profile piece in Politico. Yep, that's right here. And I know it should be more recent. Yeah, this is it. Her online sex life was exposed. She lost her election. Now she's speaking out. Nowhere do they mention. She live streamed it. She live streamed her sex life. They didn't find it on some sort of internet thing.
Yeah.
Rob, get the link.
Jesus, yeah, get the link.
Stop it. This is a family.
By the way, can some...
But the after party, wait, we getting her name, and in the after party, we are watching whatever this BS did.
It's life. They didn't find mention. It's life was in Politico. Came out recently that she lost her.
Susanna Gibson. Gibson. Yeah, let's just go with that. All right, let's see. Virginia Democrat. Of course it's a Democrat. House candidate performed sex online with husband for tips. So it's probably going to be on OF, but you know, crucial sex acts with her husband for a live online audience and pay them with tips for specific requests. Chat your bait. Oh, chat your bait. What are you gonna do, guys? What are you gonna do? This stuff will follow you. Man, woman, child, adult. Stay away.
Election. Now she's speaking up. Her sex life. They didn't find it.
Why the
This is a family.
By the way, can somebody help find Vinny and Anima wife, please?
This is AmericaFest, family friendly, wholesome.
Got it.
Think homeschool. Okay,
Got it.
That's AmericaFest. We're out of
There
Miami.
you go.
Okay?
There you go.
What's wrong with Miami, Charlie?
No, there's plenty wrong
Okay.
with Miami. Anyway,
Yeah.
the point is this is a pattern. Okay, the degeneracy, the depravity.
Let me ask you a question, Charlie. How does the enemy process this? So let's just say Xi, China, Iran, Russia looks at us.
That's a really good
What do you
question.
think they say? What does the enemy see?
So we know it. I mean, if you
I think they're saying the same kind of shit that we're saying, but with a lot less severity in terms of like, they're saying like, that's fucking crazy. Whereas like, yo, this is fucking crazy because this is our country. This is happening to us. I think they're just laughing. What else? What else could they be doing?
read Putin's speeches, again, I'm not like a big Putin fan, but you should know he uses it as an internal rallying cry.
Shout out to the Fool 309 over on Twitch. Welcome to the party. Going pretty well. How about you? Welcome. Opus said, I don't get these streaming P-Hub sites, like for either the performers or the sad losers or who pay for it. Me neither. I mean, at least I understand the concept of OF and the GFE, girlfriend. I understand what it is that you're looking for. I'm with you, Opus. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
To consolidate power. And this is something that we need to talk. I said this all along, that the subtext of the Ukraine war is like gay agenda versus traditionalism. Again,
Really?
if you read the actual Russian Federation speeches, Putin says they're transing their kids and they're chemically castrating. Again, I'm not a fan of Russia. It's not a free society. It's not an ideal society. But it's true that the trans thing is pushed by NATO. It's pushed by our intel agencies. The pride flag is shown prominently by our government. And
Yep, sadly. So, full ask. You don't mind me asking, what are your political ideologies? So, obviously, it's not so easy to just put a label on it. I do. I've stopped pushing away the label of conservative. I don't consider myself a conservative. I call myself a 2015-esque liberal, a classical liberal, a disaffected liberal, an anti-woke type. America first. That's really where I fall. So, yes, for simplicity's sake, when we're talking about liberal versus conservative, I'm more on the conservative side, but I'm very much more in the on the libertarian axis is more important to me than where left or right. Zuby says, for the greater good, we will do whatever we can to revere the group, regardless of the cost of the individual. Exactly. Oh, said, I think OF and similar sites deceive women into thinking all the people doing that make like $1 million a year. And I hope once everyone finds out that it isn't true, it will die out. That's a good hope, Opus, but I think that, just regular P-Hub works the same way. I think, Thirst Trap, Instagram, Twitch, I think that all works the same way. And there's a constant rotation of new people discovering, oh, hey, I can make money doing this. Hey, look, there's somebody making $1 million. Maybe I can do that. And so if you remember, it must have been at least a year ago, right? When the whole thing with Bella Thorne made $1 million with one post or something like that. And all the other OF creators were like, yo, you're messing up the economy. Like now, people are expecting all of this, or I don't even know. But Bella Thorne messed things up. That was only the beginning of the OF saga. There's people who don't even remember that happened, who are now finding themselves in a position where it's like, maybe just a couple feet pics help me out with rent. And then it spirals from there. Yes, indeed. Very anti-woke. Zippy said, Ukraine's war looks like World War I. Germany invades Russia through France. Only it's NATO and U.S. commies invading Russia. Did you see the whole thing? That was the second half. What are we talking? What? Second half of what? What are you talking about? Wokeness, I think, is an eroding of the agreed upon social norms that we had. I think that is the easiest way to put it. Again, I don't have a dictionary definition, but eroding the social norms that we had in a way that is inorganic. That's what I see as woke.
And if you actually read deeper, this thing is pushed by NATO. It's pushed by our intel agencies.
That trans is
shown prominently by our government. And if you actually read deeper, the spokesperson for Zelensky was a trans person for the last 2 years. So in some ways, Russia uses this as an excuse to say, hey, people of Russia, I guarantee you, and by the way, they're going to show this like nonstop. If you watch RT, which I don't, if you watch any of these Russian television stuff, I guarantee you they're going to say, see, look at the Americans. This is why we have to reject the West. You have to understand the narrative going on in the East is that America is the leader of modernity, and modernity gets you the following. Gets you live stream gay sex in your capital. It gets you lots of suicide. It gets you a lot of depravity. It gets you lower birth rates. It gets you pornography. It gets you transgending of kids.
It also gives you a lot more freedom than you would get anywhere else in the world. And so I think that definitely, especially as we have someone like the fool here saying, kind of questioning me, I do think it is very important that, yes, I agree. All of those things, all of those bad things come from Western values, but bad things are going to come from the ultimate value, which is liberty. And you can't have liberty and also make sure that none of that stuff happens. So the fool says, so you're saying that eroding social norms is a bad thing? Or does it depend on the social norm? So no, I said inorganically, So the idea that you could be a tomboy was something that organically evolved from females having less femininity. That was something that naturally occurred. The push to be non-binary or gender fluid was not organic. And so, yes, it does. I would say it does depend on the social norm, but in general, it's when it's an agenda push as opposed to a natural progression, a natural evolution of how societies, people, whatever. I don't think so. No, I don't think that social norms need to be what they are and they need to be stagnant. I think that we should be progressing. We should be evolving. But that should happen naturally based on how we live, how the world around us changes and stuff like that. Not the saying, well, we want to be at this end goal and we're only here, so we have to change things. And now this is normal. You can't force what is normal and expect no pushback. And I think that's too much of what's happening. Full system, because at one point slavery was a social norm. You could say it was inorganically eroded. Ignoring the comments that are clearly uneducated on the existence of third genders in societies for thousands of years. Okay. At one point, slavery was a social norm. I agree with the statement. I agree with eroding that social norm. But again, that was an organic thing that happened over a long time. There weren't academics that were shouting out to everybody, "Hey, you're a racist if you have slaves." It was organic. That's the difference. So I mean, if you need me to go further into what I mean by organic versus inorganic, that's one thing. But the erosion of slavery was, at least in my opinion, an organic evolution of what people wanted, because the people who fought the war over it weren't told that they needed to fight a war over it. They decided that they want to fight a war over it. That's not what's happening with kids who are transing themselves.
Some of that is true. Some of it's an exaggeration. But what do our enemies? The easy answer is that they're laughing at us. No. You just gave Vladimir Putin a gift where he is now going to give a speech and say, by the way, the people financing this war against you, where you people of Russia, where they took the vote at night, they are live streaming gay sex. That's what this war is all about. Yeah. It is the internal rallying cry of the Kremlin.
I think in general, the Western value thing, I'm with you. I don't know how specifically it is about gay sex. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but aside from going that far, I agree.
And by the way, it's such an easy argument to make fun of the enemy. It's like, look at these clowns over there in America. There was once a
it's not a mockery, though. They use it as fear. The people of Russia, actually, they don't like.
Okay, so who told Frederick Douglass that he had to encourage the Civil War? And did Frederick Douglass go and call people racist if they did not fight the Civil War? And did he have followers who didn't know what Frederick Douglass actually thought and what he actually wrote, but still stand for him and argued against the Southerners who wanted to have a slave? Like, that's where you're misunderstanding what I mean by organic and inorganic. Just because a thing happens, so the fact that there's a war doesn't mean it's inorganic. What's happening in Israel is organic. There's nobody pushing. There's nobody moving the pieces in such a way that I mean, unless you want to talk about at the elites level, sure. Then yeah, none of it is organic. But there's levels. There's definitely levels to what the people want, and the norms that the people have from 5 years ago to be completely upended is not organic. That is not that's just not how humans have ever been. Bill Bradley, did I say hi to you yet? If not, welcome to the party. It says post-structuralism. Oh wait, you can't cheers and not drink. Bill Bradley says post-structuralism says there's no right and wrong. Anyone that talks in social constructs cannot then claim to be right because the underlying belief in post-structuralism rejects the very idea. Bingo. It all falls upon itself. So this is a stupid argument. Changing the society with proven negative effects for 0.01% of the population is insane. Yep. Who's moving the pieces for the LGBT movement? the people who are behind the movement. Again, the gender affirming people, the doctors that you could see who clearly have a financial incentive to just move kids through the pipeline and not actually determine whether or not they're suffering from a gender gender dysphoria, or if there's other things going on, and they're just self-medicating with the idea of transgenderism. That's not happening. Bill says the irony of people whose entire belief system is premised on there being no right and wrong, claiming to be right, is lost on them, but not on me. I think we got a comment of the night. No, there is no truth in anything be anything, but you're wrong. How does that work? How does that work? Shout out to Zippy DSN Lee. Said the South was an aristocratic society of nobles, peasants, and slaves. They did what Europe did for centuries, war for independence. South was wrong and was defeated. Yep. I said LGBT are not institutionally oppressed. Haven't been for a long time. Nope. But don't let them know that. Don't let them know that.
Laugh at it. They're like, yes, Putin, stay in power because we don't want that here. And so it laughter, yes, but it's more like they use it as this is coming. When they hear Lindsey Graham say, oh, hell no, the fool, you are doing exactly what I love, coming in and, asking these questions, forcing me to say, okay, what do I determine is woke? What do I determine is a social norm? What do I determine is organic? All of these things, I very much appreciate the questions. So maybe other places, they don't like it, but very much welcome here. And I appreciate it, actually. Zippy says, since the late 90s, the whole LGBT spec was not oppressed. Yeah, the whole population has, I mean, there's definitely, like Opus said, will people be discriminated against by bigots on an individual level? Of course. Sure. And people who are mean to be mean should be condemned, no matter their target, no matter their reason. Exactly. I completely agree with that. But this idea that there's a systemic oppression is just a narrative. That's all it is. We're going to come after, this is a war of offense. Lindsey Graham, Avi Klobuchar, Ukraine, war of offense a couple years ago. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Patrick, but what I'm getting at.
Right, but it's almost 2024 now. So we're talking about a quarter of a century ago. I mean, okay, so it was more like 10 years ago. But either way, we're talking about a decade ago. So do you have anything within this decade?
Is the mockery by some, but the rank and file people of the mainland of Russia are terrified that the overtly aggressive gay agenda is going to come into Russia. And this certainly helps the argument. Look right there. The Saren Ashton Cirillo is a person born a man who became a woman, who thinks they're a woman, who is the spokesperson of the Ukrainian armed forces.
So they're highlighting a trans woman. She's thought to have been the first openly transgender war correspondent and the only transgender journalist covering the invasion. In Kharkiv, she worked closely with the Ukrainian military and police and was appointed by the mayor of whoever that name is. I'm really not sure, like, if he's talking about, like, just general wokeness, just general, eroding of the social norms that we're talking about with the fool here. I definitely agree with him, but this hyperfixation on specifically gay sex, like, again, maybe if he's using gay as a catch-all. Morty, come on, go lay down. Maybe if he's using gay just to mean all LGBT stuff, maybe. But I don't know where he's getting the line from like this connects to wokeness and then gayness. It feels like he's making a jump there, but whatevs. Fool said, yeah, and the civil rights movement happened in the 1960s, and there's still a clear wealth gap between people of color and white folks. Well, that's a whole conversation, but if you're saying that that's because of racism, I would respectfully disagree. Zippy said, individual oppression changes based on the mood of the individual. Bill Bradley said, when people say woke, they're almost always pointing to something related to postmodernism. Yes, post-structuralism, critical theory, critical legal theory, or intersectionality. People are almost always right when they call something woke, even if they don't have the labels. People know it when they see it. Yes, exactly. You can't deny that that's a persisting systemic issue, however. that what's a systemic issue. Because if you're talking about the civil rights movement and there being what systemic what systemic issues do we see with the wealth gap that isn't due to behaviors? I'm not denying that there's a gap, but just like there's a wealth gap between the sexes, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. If you work more, you should get paid more. If you work a harder job, you should get paid more. So just because there is a distinction, what is it? Distinction does not mean discrimination. Just because it's different doesn't mean there's discrimination there. If people are not doing the things that will allow them to get the wealth that they want, if they're not being held back, then it is that it's individual, and we're not talking about systemic anything.
The true conflict unfolding in Ukraine is the trans agenda, the excesses of modernity, and traditionalism. That doesn't mean I'm on the side of Putin. That doesn't mean I'm on the side of the Russian Federation. But you have to understand that is what is rallying Russians domestically.
I fully agree with you, Charlie, because two things can be true at once. Number one, Putin is a thug and dictator and obviously an enemy of the United States. But we're embarrassing ourselves when we are endorsing and co-signing the LGBTQIA+, whatever parts of the alphabet you want to throw in there. So yes, he's wrong. Yes, he's a bad guy. But yes, he has a point.
He does have
a point. He does have a point. The Fool says most wealth in the United States is generational, and that is where the systemic issues lie. Again, I'm not necessarily going to disagree with that, but I think there's a difference between what you're talking about and what we refer to as racism. And part of my whole shtick is one of the two major problems with all of that undergird everything is something that I call semantic obfuscation, taking the meanings and the usage of words and twisting them to fit a narrative, an argument, something. I agree that this is happening. I disagree that this is racism. I think it does not help race relations to call this racism. I think racism needs to be bigotry, and this simply isn't bigotry. It's just unfairness. And I agree that there's unfairness, but nobody said that the world is fair. We can try definitely to eliminate as much of the unfairness as possible, but that's never going to be a reality. And so if you're setting up the position that as long as there is a wealth gap, then it is racist, then we can never have a not racist world. So why would we even try? Opus said, as many Ukrainians have died as the number of American casualties in World War I and all wars since. It's time to sue for peace. I'm with that. Fool says, that's because racism is more nuanced than just one person hating another for the color of their skin. And this is, again, exactly what I'm talking about. That I think I don't disagree with you, but that's only because people have used racism in such a wide way that it doesn't really mean anything. And so I would rather us talk about this using a different word than racism, because racism could be this, or it could be somebody calling a black person the N-word, or it could be so many different things. And so if we're trying to solve this, then using the word racism doesn't get us anywhere. It's useless. It's useless in that context. And so to call it racist, like if you're saying that for this to be the case, that means racism, then I agree with that notion. But I don't agree that racism is such a problem like that. Zippy said, wealth gap has nothing more to do with inefficiency of city life and how most mid to upper jobs require networking and the system fractionalizing education, not raising all boats. We have boats based on color and gender, which kills the networking, which leads to higher end jobs. Well, Bradley says most wealth in the U.S. Is not generational. That is patently false. Okay. Only about 20% of people get an inheritance. The idea that generational wealth is where most wealth comes from is a lie. For the top 1%, maybe, but not most people with money. There we go.
I have a point. Are we allowed to have a thought crime that Putin has a point? Are you allowed to say that? No, you can't. He's the worst person ever.
Doesn't mean we're endorsing
no. Okay,
Putin.
here's a fact. Russia has said it's illegal to have transgender surgeries for kids. Good for Russia.
Good. Yeah.
Honestly, that's a good thing.
Good.
People say, no, everything Russia does is bad. Like that, what a stupid way to look at the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's good. And by the way, there's some things Russia that doesn't do. So I got in this debate and they say, well, Russia puts their political opponents in jail. Yeah, you're right. We would never put our political dissidents in jail.
Yeah.
We would
don't
never
do
have
that.
gulags or have Donald Trump face 700 years in federal prison. Or
That's a good question for you, Bill. What's how much of that wealth in the U.S. is that 20% of inheritance take up, though? That's a good question. I don't think anybody's sugarcoating anything. I think that they're, we're having a nice conversation. Just because we don't agree doesn't mean anybody's doing anything underhanded. You came in here asking questions. I'm trying to answer them. Let's not, let's keep it respectful.
or lock up people because of thought crimes or making memes. You're right. Russia is so bad that we would never put political dissidents in federal prison.
Or kick down their doors.
Or kick down their doors, or have a dragnet because someone took a selfie in the Capitol. Maybe we're actually more like Russia than Russia is.
Well, you interviewed one of the most famous Russian athletes ever, the UFC fighter Nurmagomedov.
Khabib!
And you asked him how many genders are in Russia. And he thought about
brother. This is only two. This is only two genders. I don't know what this transgender is.
it for like literally a half a second. What did he say?
I asked him, I said, in America, we're very competitive. We have like 100 different genders. How many genders you guys got in Russia? And he said, we only have 2. It's kind of disappointing at first. You're like, I thought Russia would be more competitive. But they have something called common sense. And they believe in science, the real science, not the kind of science that we're being
And by the way, I just want to say one
today.
last thing. I think it's sick and disgusting that these guys did this in the Senate hearing room, because everybody knows
what should happen.
Everybody knows that's what goes down in the House.
What should happen?
Well, he got fired, but I don't think the senator that he works for. I mean, he's saying
Senator Ben Cardin.
So Ben Cardin.
Let's take a look at this guy. Senator Ben Cardin. Senator Ben Cardin. Oh, God. Oh no, just thinking about, oh my God. Yikes. This is crazy. Disgusting. Zippy said, that's just objective facts. The system has kept blacks down by treating them differently. Since if they were treated the same as everyone else, they would mingle more and get better jobs via the networking. Yeah, okay, I can agree with that. So you wouldn't call the system keeping down a specific race. How are you? So this is where we need to drill in, though, because what do you mean by the system keeping down a specific race? How do you were asking for definitions, so now I'm asking you. What do you mean? Give me an example of the system keeping down a specific race. So most people with money did not inherit. Did we cut that one already? Yeah. Oh, you're leaving already? All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. Very much appreciated.
But
Personal
He
matter.
should be
Let's not talk about it
criminally
anymore.
charged for defecating the holiness and the sacred tradition of our legislative body.
and Tom,
he should be put in federal prison for having gay sex and filming it.
Yeah, because January 6th was an insurrection. What was this, Tom?
Sort of an insurrection.
And that's
J6 was the insurrection. This was the insurrection.
No, but no, it's just by the way. So did you know this too, Charlie? He actually did another photo. This came out today on Laura Loomer's on her page. He's taking a photo at work like this from behind with the mirror, saying, "I'm waiting in my office for Lindsey Graham to show up." He posted that. Somebody searched in his went back. He was posting all that stuff at work back in the day.
And guess what, Vinny?
What?
Lindsey Graham showed up.
He probably did.
That's for sure.
Anyville says, wait. Who's getting kept down? I mean, up until 30 seconds ago, affirmative action was a thing. So that's what I'm saying. I was very willing to have the conversation, and I thought we were doing well. But of course, the second that they throw out something, that I respond to, and I am a human being, and I respond like a human being. Oh well, okay, bye. All right. I mean, I thought we were having fun, but Whatever. Shout out to David Banner. Welcome to the party. So come on, that didn't hit as hard as you played it. You didn't think that was funny? Bro, I thought that was funny as shit.
Sure. By the way, Charlie, got to ask you this. Disgusting, horrible, what have you. What
Haram!
happens if it wasn't gay sex? If it was
Ooh, great question. Great question. Because he obviously should have the same reaction, but just adding on the gay, like having sex at work and filming it should be something that Charlie Kirk is very, 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 very against. The only thing that he would be more against should be filming gay sex at work. So let's see. Need to sip first. All right. Let's see. Before we dive in, all inequality is evidence of oppression. Didn't you know that? The mind rot of Marxism abounds. Life is just oppressed versus oppressor. No other metric exists. Obviously. Yep. And I mean, it's like, did we hear anything new? It's the same old thing. Well, there's a wealth gap, so racism. It's like, come on, man. Zippy says it's kind of a systematic issue, but has more to do with poverty than race and gender. Bingo. The education system in the cities are a train wreck due to factors based on bad management. You mean like policies? Than anything even close to racism and sexism. Shout out to Crucified for my opinions. Welcome to the party. So it looks like there's a whiny Hillary Clinton supporter in your chat here. Racism. All right, let's be nice. Everybody's allowed to have their opinions. But I'm right there with you. Indie Film says, yes, it was heterosexual sex. That would be offensive too. Now, if it was lesbian sex, then I'm all in. Hypocrite! Crucified for my opinion. Said racism ended already. There's no legal discrimination. So racism isn't real. What's real is personal prejudice. Until you want to regulate people's thoughts and pattern recognition a la 1984, you need to sit and shut the fuck up. Hell yeah. Bradley says rural white communities have many of the same issues as urban black areas. The difference is no one cares about the people living in the country and not the city. Yep. It's all right there. And I would have been happy to explain all of this. And I mean, it's not anything that we don't talk about all of the time. But I found that don't take this personally, Crucified. It's not about you, but I'm just saying I've seen a lot that on YouTube, people are willing to come in and see what's good. Where on Twitch, people come in and be, what is this? What are we watching? Are you in line with me? No, bye. Like, all right, shit. Bye then. Fuck you. You just had to bring that up. Didn't you?
Would that still be a federal crime?
Of course. It's desecrating. Of course it is. Absolutely.
Yep. So as I say, I was after college, I fell into drugs. I was a drug addict for about 4 or 5 years. And then I came out of that and, I wanted to better my life and start paying attention and see what's going on. And I thought, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to be informed. I'm going to be intelligent. And I'm not just going to watch MSNBC. I'm going to watch CNN and Fox News, and I'm going to know it all. That's how you become a never Trumper. And that's how you become a Hillary voted. You bastard. But hey, I need the reminder. I need the burn of knowing that I was that pathetic, that I was that gullible, that I was that stupid. If it can happen to me, it can happen to any of us. Crucified, so well, that's understandable. You have to be a recovering addict over Hill Dog. Hey, I think we got a new comment of the night. Oh man, comment of the night. Dilly to that. The only person who's ever given me any leeway and put it in a great joke. Good job. Love it.
But here's what.
Oh, wait. Annie Film says, I love this story. I was at the lowest point in my life. I was doing drugs. I was stealing from my family friends. And I voted for Hillary Clinton. Hey. Shout out to Zippy the Strange. Come on down, Baba. go. Hey, there we go. Oh, wait, is he on screen? He's not even on screen. There you go. They say thank you to Zippy. The straight. Oh, he took off a little piece, and now there's one right here. So he gets an extra kibble. He gets an extra kibble because of reasons. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So much. Shout out to David Banner. Make sure if you're not already in the, you're already in the Discord, right? I don't know. You know what's good. If you aren't already a disciple in the Discord, then get you some. Thank you again, sir. Out sponsoring your damn self.
Bothers so many.
Oh my God! And we got Bailey. Welcome to the party. Is it just me? I feel like Bailey would have loved to be here for that that interaction with, what was it, the fool? I feel like Bailey would have been frothing at the mouth. Welcome to the party, girl. Good to see you as always.
People about the point of it is that he probably thought he could get away with it because like the whole gay agenda gets special rights right now in this sick world. Okay, so let's be honest. Like, and then he plays victim. Like, oh, I feel so sad for him. Like, wow. Like, that is weaponized narcissism.
So let me ask you this. Let's do this. Let's say,
but yes, to answer your question would be wrong.
Let's say,
okay, so at least he's consistent. He's consistent that, yes, obviously having sex at work in government buildings is wrong. It's just the gay part, it's a little bit extra for him. Now, to me, I don't necessarily think that there's a meaningful difference. I think it's all debaucherous to be having sex and filming it at work in a government building. But if you wanna, say that because it's gay, it's worse. All right, well, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Say a Trump was president today and that happened.
Well, he doesn't.
Bailey says no. Having sex at all is bad. Sex is evil. Evil. Yeah, that's why Bailey's a virgin.
Control Congress, but yeah.
But what do you think? What would you think his first reaction would be if that were to happen? What would he say? What would be?
All right, let's back this up. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yes, to answer your question. Wow. Like, that is weaponized narcissism.
All right, so let me ask you this. Let's do this. Let's say,
but yes, to answer your question would be wrong.
Let's say a Trump was president today and that happened.
Well, he doesn't control Congress, but yeah.
But what do you think? What would you think his first reaction would be if that were to happen? What would he say? What would
I would live for that tweet. Oh my God. I don't even want. I mean, I would just. It would be.
New poll is up. Have you had sex at work? Yes or no?
It would be Michelangelo material. It would be something that we remember 600 years from now, and we display in the streets of Florence. And we say, you remember when Donald Trump reacted to the gay sex film in Senate?
It would be a
I don't even.
Hey, shout out to Joe Mama. Welcome to the party. Said if you want to ruffle some feathers politically, you should make videos called the Inside Trader of the Week. Any politician, right or left, involved in insider trading should be called out. I mean, I definitely agree with you. I don't know necessarily how to find that information, but I would definitely watch if you did that. Welcome to the party, Joe Mama.
Smithsonian, but just
exactly. I don't even want to guess. I don't even want to guess what it would
And mind
be.
you guys,
He would tweet something like, here things are happening in the Senate right now. He would do something like that.
And mind you guys,
demonic Democrats having anal sex.
He was just fired again. He was fired. He hasn't been charged or anything.
He
should be.
He will.
No. He's a Democrat. He'll be fine. Trust me. He got fired because they have to fire him.
Let's see what happens.
So how is that being fine? He's going to be fine. Trust me. He only got fired.
He did is worse than what 99% of the people on January 6th did.
1,000%.
Yup.
What he did is worse than what 99% of the people did on January 6th.
By the way, that's not even that big of a shocking statement.
Well, I'm going to get clipped. That's why I repeated it for the degenerates at Media Matters that probably enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Let's transition into the next topic.
Nice.
I thought transition was a right.
All right, so we're going to skip this chapter where they're talking about mortgage payments and some bullshit and get into some beef with Kobe Covington and LeBron James.
Rob, do you want to pull up the picture with...
Hey, what is good? Tyler Smith in the building. What is good? Welcome. No, sir. Unfortunately, oh, I wish I remembered the name. I just had the picture up if you scroll back, but no. It was two dudes, and there was just on video it wasn't the White House. It was some what do they call it? The heart something? I don't know, but no. if it was, and as any film said, where is it? He's like, well, I mean, if it was lesbian sex.
The second greatest basketball player of all time, LeBron James. Can you just pull up this picture real quick?
Shout out to Kelly Green. Welcome to the party, Kelly Green. I said, I love mortgages. I think you're gonna love this just a little bit more. Trust me.
I just have to put that up there. So that's LeBron. They're singing a national anthem. You see everybody.
We'll back this up. Bill Bradley's got to go. Thank you so much for hanging out and having my back. Very much appreciated. You have a good one.
Their hands on their chest, except for the guy with the pink sweater, which is kind of weird. But he's sitting down, LeBron, and he walks up, doesn't stand up at all, doesn't stand up for the national anthem, sits down, doesn't get up, nothing. Kobe.
Oh, yeah, I went to. So these are the gentlemen. These are the gentlemen. Take a good look. And just imagine. Right over the desk. All right, let's back this up. Where are we at?
But do you want to pull up a picture with the second greatest basketball player of all time, LeBron James? Can you just pull up this picture real quick? I just have to put that up there. So that's LeBron. They're singing a national anthem. You see everybody with their hands on their chest, except for the guy with the pink sweater, which is kind of weird. But he's sitting down, LeBron, and he walks up.
Okay, so yeah, so they're singing the national anthem. Everybody's got their hands. This guy's filming, but everybody seems to generally. Okay.
Doesn't stand.
I didn't hear about this story, so I have no idea what they're.
Stand up at all. Doesn't stand up for the national anthem. Sits down. Doesn't get up. Nothing. Kobe.
Is this like Muslim garb that he's in? Is that a thing? Like, is he Muslim?
Has something to say about it. Rob, do you have the Kobe Covington clip? And I don't know if you've seen this or not.
Oh, it said Kobe. I'm thinking like, wait, Kobe? What? Kobe? I'm thinking maybe they're gonna pull some clip from a while ago. Like what? Zippy said, old dude got energy at last. Viagra works pretty good, I guess. What? What old dude? What? What you talking about? Oh, the old. Maybe it's Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the one.
Rob, can we even play this or not?
He's fighting tonight.
But PBD, I disagree. No, Kobe's the second greatest basketball player.
You put Kobe ahead of LeBron?
LeBron's a brat.
Ooh.
You put Kobe ahead of LeBron?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we've got, let's see how many. All right, so we got 7 votes. 57% of you said, no, I've not had sex at work. And I think with my vote, that would give us a clear 50-50. So so obviously, put a 1 in the chat if you disagree that Michael Jordan is the basketball GOAT. I think we can all agree that he's the GOAT. So who is the NBA's second GOAT? Is it Kobe or LeBron? Let me know.
It's a different debate. I'm actually very impressed.
I
by
love
you saying
that.
I'm
I
very
love
impressed
that.
by that.
Not even close.
But I want you to play this clip.
Nah, Coke Coke does not help your dick unless you literally. Never mind.
And folks, if you hear what he has to say, I'm curious to get your reaction. Go ahead, Rob.
I just figured I wanted to say something to you guys and not show the video for just a few seconds. Oh, that's them.
If you hate America so much and you don't like this country that gave you
a little bit. Yeah, go for it. Play again.
Can you turn my mic on? If you hate America so much and you don't like this country that gave you $1 billion, leave it or come deal with me. Go to China. Go to these sweatshops that you employ all these laborers and use these women and pay them pennies on the dollar to make your millions. Fuck you, LeBron James. You're a coward. You're a spineless coward. You're a bitch.
Let's go!
By the way, I don't know if he said LeBron James or LeBron James, but I think he was trying to say
the fact
LeBron
that he
James.
didn't say it right even makes me like him more.
That's
That's the best part. He didn't give him respect enough to say his name.
Here's a question for you. Here's the question for you. Say the average person's watching this.
See, the fact that like crack and sex are so closely entangled, shall we say, just has to do with the level of degeneracy that it takes to be a crackhead and the level of degeneracy that it takes to be, like a streetwalker. Because these things do not help I mean, I've never done crack, but I mean, it's the same thing as cocaine, and it does not help. It does not help. Especially at those, I mean, maybe we do a little bit, then you get a little desensitized, and it's like, you know, you get a little extra because you're not actually feeling anything at all. But one more line, one more of the schmack, you ain't getting it up. So it's definitely, I mean, maybe. If it is, we're talking about people who, like, this is their standard. And that's not affecting anything. This is just part of the day, doing blow.
And saying, listen, man, you got 200 other stories to pick from. You're choosing this. Why is it such a big deal to stand up for, you know, the ovation that they're doing? Why should he stand up for? Why?
Same question that we got from my boy Trey Williams. Welcome to the party, my guy. I said, what's the big deal about standing up during the national anthem? So many people in stands aren't paying attention. We're off doing other things, buying food and everything. So I would say personally, ever since shout out to I don't remember, Daniel Cabrera. I remember Verdant Archer. I didn't remember his name. I've been here so long. But shout out to Daniel Cabrera. If you guys remember a while ago, I did that video that he showed me, or I reacted to that video that he showed me about, like, breaking down actually what is the national anthem, and the story behind it, and why it was written, and you know, the battle and all that stuff. And I was always somebody that's like, yeah, the Pledge of Allegiance is stupid. Who cares about standing up? And it just took watching that video one time to change my mind. But I think, and in this context, it has a lot more to do with the fact that you're representing the company, you're representing the team, you're representing the organization, and you know, if you're just in the stands, you're not representing anybody but yourself. So that again, I don't know the story. I hadn't heard the story. But if it's just that he was just sitting there, then it seems like it's a little overblown. And the fact that Colby did fight this weekend, it was probably just him using that as a way to be like, oh, puffing out my chest, I'm American, blah, blah, come fight me, like that. Because I haven't heard anybody else talking about it. That being said, I am 3 days behind on YouTube stuff because I just had to rewatch Travelers. If you have not seen Travelers on Netflix, go watch it. We need a reboot. Welcome to the party, Trey. So we said there's no telling what Hunter is leaving behind. Facts. I don't even want to know. And 169 said we stand during the anthem to show respect to our fellow Americans, those who have fought and died for our freedoms. 100%. Nope. And he should have focused on his fight instead of Brown. Maybe he would have won. Yowza! Got him.
Is it so important for national anthem?
It's a huge.
So and I think that, you know, that's exactly the question. I don't think that is the question that PBD is asking to Charlie Kirk right now. And so for somebody like, if that's the whole story, like that picture, if that's the whole story, this is nothing to me. This is a nothing.
Huge story.
Why is that?
It's a huge story because it's a micro of the macro. The macro is we have the richest people that have benefited so great from this country that are filled with ingratitude, and they've become bitter brats. Now, is it like civilizational altering that he didn't stand or not? But no, it's a picture. It shows you how the people that are worth $1 billion that have been given so much. This country has treated LeBron James so well. This.
You know, crucify my opinions. He's got that dog. Shout out to Click Gamer, bro. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Yeah, I agree, Trey. I feel like this is an opportunity. Indeed, I am. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X. Instagram's not working. We are on Kick, and we should be on Rumble by 2 days from now. What day is it? Monday, Wednesday. We should be on Rumble by Wednesday. But yeah, this notion is, well, it's a micro of the macro, and he's being a brat. Uno reverse, bro. I think you're being a brat. I just don't think that it's that big of a deal. That's it. I agree that, you know, we should stand for the anthem. We should show respect. You absolutely should do that. But if you don't, I mean, I don't see how this is a story. Now, again, I don't put anything on Colby because Good on Kobe for making this something that he could turn into something that he could jump off of. That's the name of the game. It's sports entertainment. At least the UFC admits that there's showmanship and it's not strictly competition. We all know that bullshit ain't straight up, especially the NBA and the NFL. They said your mom's a macro. Crucified said, okay, to be serious, crack is whack, y'all. It only lasts 15 minutes? Really? Actually, I guess that makes sense because, coke is the same thing. You got to doing blowing lines all night. Click Gamer says, weed is better. Hell yeah. Pothead right here. Yeah, I'm not JK at all. Weed is definitely better and better for you than doing crack. There's no question about that. There's a ledge. I think you forgot a little helicopter crash. He's dead. Wake up. I already made this joke. Bailey. We're talking about Colby Covington, not Kobe Bryant. Are you actually saying this, or are you making the same joke that I made?
This country has blessed him beyond his imagination, and he can't even stand because. And by the way, it's not something like I didn't hear it or not. No, because he has bitterness in his being. Like LeBron James has never stopped being this like resentful, driven, like.
I thought you were joking.
America is systemically racist. I think we obviously know that LeBron James has some like inner demons he has to work out, right? Yeah. But contrast that with
this is the name that we're talking about. The fighter, the white guy with the glasses, Colby Covington. That is who was talking about LeBron James. The poll has to do with the fact that the captions here did say Kobe. We're at 5. We got 5 votes. We got 8 people here on YouTube. Hit that poll, please.
Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, which again, Michael Jordan, better basketball player. Kobe Bryant, better basketball player, but also better people. I mean, Michael Jordan would never do this. Are you kidding me? Michael Jordan loves his country. Michael Jordan bashes victim mentality.
Yep.
And LeBron,
well, I mean, that the entire idea of keeping politics out of business in that way came from that quote that Republicans buy sneakers too. It's like, yeah, bro, that pretty much sums it up.
LeBron James is going to get away with it because there's this slobbering media that supports whatever LeBron James does. And LeBron James is more loyal to the Chinese Communist Party. If Xi Jinping walked in a room, he would say, sir, yes, sir. That's his true master. And so it is a picture of exactly what the average elite in America feels, which is, why should I stand for this? There's nothing great about this country. And part of why we have this event, AmericaFest, is that the everyday person, the plumber, the electrician, the welder, the parent.
I just think he's reading a little bit too much into the LeBron thing, and that he's getting too caught. Like, hey, Colby Covington is good at pulling out emotions. He's good at pulling out emotions. That is why people hate him so much and want to see him fight. But Charlie, I think you marked out. Isn't that the terminology in wrestling when you take the thing that's supposed to be scripted and you think that it's real or whatever? That happened to Charlie Kirk. Trey Williams said Michael Jordan just did it behind closed doors. That's the difference. Bingo. Zippy says I see it at 10 likes. Yep, we got 10 likes. We got 7 YouTubers. Shout out to the 4 people on Twitch. We don't usually get a lot of people on Twitch. Click Gamer Bro said it's some of the most heated and interesting clips. Fair enough. 69 said I agree with Charlie. LeBron is a spoiled brat. Fair enough. And yeah, Kobe did come out ahead. And again, I would say Kobe in terms of second GOAT. Michael Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron. I think the point that Bill Burr makes about how Kobe cannot be the GOAT, and that how Michael Jordan has to be the GOAT, is that you have to change the game. And so if somebody like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar comes around, Dr. J comes around and changes how the game is played, if you then come in and be as good as them, all you've done is match that. You haven't created a new level of the game, and that's what Michael Jordan did to a level that has not been replicated. That's the NBA True Master. China makes the NBA close to $25 billion every year. That's disgusting. Fuck the NBA. I'm glad I don't like the NBA, because even if I did like the NBA, I would stop watching the NBA.
The student, we are done with the most powerful people using their power on a downward campaign to destroy our country. Like, leave the country, LeBron. Like, leave the country. You have $1 billion.
So again, I agree with this sentiment. I don't really feel like LeBron has that. Like, there's other. Why LeBron? To me, it seems like, oh, this is just a good opportunity to point out something that I can, me being Charlie Kirk, I can stretch into and fit into my narrative that, the NBA is for China and not for America. And it's like, yo, maybe, like, he was with a kid, right? Like, well, Senator Ben Cardin, my God. LeBron doesn't stand for anthem. How is this not the first thing? When was this? What's happening? How is this not here? And I stopped caring. That's how little importance I think this is. Like, it's so irrelevant. It's just another way for him to drive his point home. And the annoying part about that is that I think he has the values, the principles already locked down. You don't need to take cheap shots like this. Just be who the fuck you are. Say the fucking shit you think. It works. It's better than what they think. Stop playing these fucking games. Because, hey, you know what? Republicans like basketball too.
Like, we don't need you. Like, the country has not been enriched.
Or should I say liberals like basketball too?
By your dribbling around and shooting. You're not allowed to say that because it's racist. I don't care. That's what you do, okay? You have a talent for basketball.
That's racist? What? Describing basketball as racist?
What?
You learn something new every day.
Basketball, you're a bad person. We don't need you. In fact, the country would probably be better if you went to mainland China. Like, I can't think of your school is not even functioning in Cleveland. Like, kids are killing the other kids. You know,
True.
He's not even a good.
I did bring that up before. When they were talking about the Elon Musk school. I was like, look at LeBron James. That's not going so well. So, I mean, he's good there. But again, I don't like this sentiment of the other. It's too strong here. You're feeding into the division. This is why the people who might not like, maybe there's liberal people who didn't like the fact that LeBron didn't stand for the anthem. But they can't fucking agree with you now. What is the goal here? Are you trying to be right? Or are you trying to make things happen? Because you can't have both. You can't have both. I know it seems like you should. And that's a big frustration of my life, is that just being right about shit should give me everything in the world. I'm right about it all. But it doesn't work that way. I have to do the legwork. I have to sit here every goddamn day and prove to you over and over and over and over and over again that I know what's good. And I am very happy to do so. But he doesn't seem to want to do that. Just I disagree wholeheartedly. He used his position to speak for people who aren't heard. I can understand a super rich dude complaining can be annoying, but he does speak for a lot of us. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm just this is such a non-issue to me, and if on the other side of this, there's people like Trey who feel strongly about this, then again, if I'm trying to move the country forward, if I'm trying to build bridges, then just leave it the fuck alone. Leave it the fuck alone. It's not like there's shit. It's not like there's no other shit to attack. That the moderate liberal or the moderate conservative who doesn't want to be, the crazy MAGA or crazy fucking liberal, blue-haired, whatever, that maybe they agree with you, but they can't say it because you're going balls to the wall. Oh, he fucking sucks off Xi Jinping. Even if that's true, bro. The people who already agree with that, already agree with that. The people that you need to hear that message are the ones who are not going to hear it in that way. I get it. There's people who play different roles in this landscape. They're the people who are just going to reinforce what you already think. That's the Charlie Kirk. If you think a thing, then Charlie Kirk is going to be the guy to say it in a way that you can grab onto, be like, yes, that is what I think. But if you let it go too far, just like with anybody, this isn't Charlie Kirk, this is just with anybody, then you're going to fall into, now you're focusing on what is good for Charlie Kirk, not what is good for America. And while there may be a lot of overlap, just like when we talk about Trump, and we say that it's not like Trump cares about you. It's not like Trump is coming to make sure you're tucked in at night. No. He's a selfish asshole who wants to enrich himself. That's what presidents, that's what politicians are. But this asshole politician, his self-interests are a lot more in line with my interest than this selfish asshole's interest.
School is not even functioning in Cleveland. Like, kids are killing the other kids. You know, he's not even a good philanthropist. And so, look, I get pretty fired up about this because we used to be a nation 100 years ago. You could say,
can someone fact check that? I'm just curious because he didn't need to say that about the philanthropy. I have to imagine that LeBron donates a ridiculous amount of money. So somebody can fact check that for me. I would appreciate it.
Say what you want about Carnegie and Rockefeller and J.P. Morgan and Mellon, who made billions of dollars, the robber barons, right? Say what you want about them, but they loved the country. They loved America. Rockefeller loved America. J.P. Morgan loved America.
Okay, fair. So J.P. Morgan, perfect example. The Rockefellers, they love America. So you're telling me that because they love America, that all the corruption that comes out of just those two families is worse than LeBron James not standing for the anthem one time? You're getting lost in your own asshole, bro. You're getting lost inside of your own asshole. What are you saying?
Who made billions of dollars, the robber barons, right? Say what you want about them, but they loved the country. They loved America. Rockefeller loved America.
And fucked over all of us for decades.
J.P. Morgan loved America. Now,
fucked over the entire country and caused a recession. Say what you want about LeBron, but he didn't do that.
Now, the people that have it best, absent Elon Musk, he is the exception. Praise God for him. Mackenzie Bezos, LeBron James, Laureen Paljobs, Reid Hoffman, Mark Benioff, Reed Hastings. They don't love the country that gave them so much. And we are here at AmericaFest that say, go to hell. Go to hell. We're taking back this country.
Yeah, great point, Charlie.
Adam.
Yeah.
And see, that's what it's for. It's for the clapter. You didn't really say anything. All you did was point out, hey, that's a bad. That's an America bad. You did an America bad. We're supposed to be America good. And I'm America good. So when you see America bad, know that I'm America good. Yay! Oh my God. That's all that transpired there. That was a waste of time.
I mean, this isn't, I don't know what LeBron's going to do, but this is an inflection point in his career and his life. If LeBron actually loved America and he actually paid attention to what people are saying about him, this would be a great time for him to say, look, I'm LeBron James. I love the hell out of America. This made me the billionaire. This made me the man I am. Imagine LeBron giving a speech like that. Like,
where in the Constitution or the national anthem, Declaration of Independence, any of the amendments, does it say that you have to love America? I love America. I think a lot of you guys love America. I think it's stupid not to love America. But the beauty of America is that it provides an environment where you can not love America. That's what makes America so great. You can't not like China if you're Chinese. You can't not like North Korea. So what are we really talking about? Are you saying that you want to mandate that people must stand for the national anthem? Do you think that does anything if they already don't respect it enough to do it while they can? So you just want performative bullshit so that you can't tell who likes the country and who doesn't like the country. Makes perfect sense.
Jordan famously said, I don't pick sides, Democrats, Republicans. Why? Because Republicans buy tennis shoes too. But LeBron has an opportunity here to be like, you know what? F all of you. I love America.
Yes.
But I don't see that speech coming.
Of course
That's
not.
the problem. And then I'll add one more thing.
But that's a stupid thing to say. That's a stupid thing to say because right now the sentiment on the broader left is America bad. That's your whole point here. So if you want him to reach the hearts and minds of people, then saying your message, which they already don't agree with, is not the way to go. I'm certainly not saying it's good that he don't stand for. I'm not saying that, but just saying, well, hey, I'm just going to start, spitting out random left, right-wing talking points, and people, it'll be great for me. I don't want that either. Be who you are, so I know who you are. If you happen to be a basketball player who's really good at basketball and doesn't really care about politics, that's okay. That's okay. You're not a bad person because you don't know everything about politics. Am I alone here? Am I alone here? Sibby said they had to love America as world trade was not simplified. Thank you, St. Ronnie, for giving us a better world. Standard Oil was less an issue than the issues with workers. Any large factory could have those issues at the time. America created the NWO, though. That's a lot of stuff. Okay. Anyone said, I may love America, but I still wear a condom in the Senate chambers because you never know where the country's been. Yup. But yeah, am I alone here? Like, should we not be making such a big deal about the fact that somebody didn't pledge their undying love for the country in one instance? Because that's what we're doing. I don't know about you guys, but I spend a minimum of 15 hours a week plus clips talking about how much I hate this about America, that about the American government, this about the American government. I would hope that has a little bit more influence, and certainly if I had the platform, that it would have a lot more influence than just not standing. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. You can stand there all day and night and talk about how bad Biden is, which he is, how terrible the Biden administration is, which it is, but that's not hating America. For the moment, and again, if I could find the picture, it looked like he was with his kid, and it looked like he was tying the kid's shoe or something. I'm not even convinced that he didn't stand up after that.
And shout out to you guys here. And this is the problem that I have with my Democrat buddies out there. It's become abundantly clear that Republicans and conservatives love America more than liberals. And certainly more than progressives.
And that's
who
actually
basically hate America.
That's a bad.
And I think that's true. I do think that's true. That generally speaking, people who fall more on the anti-woke, America for what we are hodgepodging to mean conservative, you're going to find more love for America than on the other side. But that is it's not as simple because, again, when we talk about the semantic obfuscation of what has become patriotism, in the same way that the Confederate flag now means racism. It doesn't matter if to you personally, you grew up in the South and it's this, and it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. That would be an example of an organic change. Nobody decided that the Confederate flag was this or that. It's just we all were like, all right. And you're going to find less of that the further south you go, and the more of that the farther north you go. But what's the point? Like Trey said, I can love the country and still have issues with it. You should. There are definitely issues with it. So he said it's kind of a public shaming. I mean, are we going to shame the e-girls and woke fools? Are there levels to things? There's levels to this shit. Progressives are the Borg. Resistance is futile. What? I don't know what that means. Shout out to anybody who does. Stars and bars is the real Confederate flag. Don't know what that means, but shout out to whoever does.
Thing, man.
Yeah.
AmericaFest should be people of all political affiliations. If
It would be if you stopped cloaking everything in God. I will say you've done a good job of not specifically saying God, using spiritual as opposed to religious. It's been doing good in this particular interview. But in general, you make it all about God. And you can't have that if you want people of all political affiliations.
we had this event 50 years ago, we would have Kennedy Democrats and Rockefeller Republicans. It's not good that AmericaFest is partisan. It's
100%.
It's true. It's real. But like loving the country is considered radical and hating the country is considered fashionable.
Yeah.
But you think that it's a good idea for a non-political person to take signs and, well, okay, whatever you say.
You get extra tokens and points in Aspen elite society if you hate America. You're at like weird looks if you say this country's amazing.
Are you saying you're not going to Aspen for Christmas?
Oh no, I'm not. I'm invited to a lot of Aspen parties at New Year's on Red Mountain, Patrick.
These people that go to Aspen, you got to be careful with.
By the
them.
way,
Go ahead.
it's
I feel like, I feel like Charlie's a little bit lost in the sauce. And I want you guys to, if I get this far up my own asshole, to please call me out. Because I don't necessarily disagree with with everything that he's saying, but it's just so he's just at this point it seems like he's on autopilot. That everything comes back down to left is bad, right is good, and I'm the arbiter of truth. And it's just we get it. So this man plays identity politics just as much as the left. Exactly. And this is why I fought the conservative label for so long. Jay's like, I will. I know you will. But this is exactly why I don't want to be associated. I certainly am not associated with the Republican Party. I'm certainly not cheering for the GOP. There are people who are, again, the primary thing for me personally is that you are an America First candidate, that you are a politician, that you are not trying to spend money on DEI bullshit. You are not trying to spend money and get us into foreign wars. And that's both sides of the aisle. And both sides of the aisle are trying to tell you that only the other side is doing the wrong thing. But as Trey is saying here, identity politics. Identity politics. Just because it's not specifically talking about race doesn't mean that it's not about identity politics. Nationalism is identity politics. I think it's a better version of identity politics than, race. But there's levels to this shit. Tucker for president. I don't know. I need a little bit more time. I need a little bit more time with him. He spent too much time on Fox being that guy. I need to see a little bit more of who he is. I'm just, and I just, clipped up I didn't clip it up yet, but I got the times for when I did the members only Tucker and Alex Jones. And there's just a little more that I need to see before I'm ready to really ride for that dude.
It's all these Bunkport, Martha's Vineyard, Aspen, Sun Valley. I've been to all your vacations. It's not that nice.
Guys, don't follow my Instagram stories during Christmas.
you are one of the elites, PB.
But you made a good point, Charlie. And it's like he's obviously the China situation we see with other athletes too. Who was the WWE guy that
John Cena
stuck up for Taiwan? He had to speak in Mandarin to the camera.
Put one in the chat if you did not see John Cena speaking Chinese, apologizing for something that I don't know because it was in Chinese.
And apologize to his masters, and you nailed it. And it's just I'm sick and tired of this by the way, he joined the NBA when he was in high school. LeBron, what?
I'm gonna push back on that. I would say that he is much more reactionary to the left-wing racist bullshit, but he definitely plays identity politics. That's right, for acknowledging Taiwan. How dare you? Yeah, put one in the chat if you did not see that, because that you need to see.
What struggle? What have we done so wrong to? And I think when Trump, God willing, Trump wins, that attitude of people saying like Bette Midler or Barbara Streisand or Cher, if Trump wins, I'm leaving this country. We have to put in law that if you said that,
No, you're not.
get the out when it happens. You gotta leave. You said
No, bro. What are you saying? What happened to we should be able to make jokes? What happened to we should be able to just say that like why is everyone such a fucking hypocrite? Why is everybody such a fucking hypocrite? Have your principles and just apply them evenly. Whether it behooves you or what's the opposite of behoove? Whether it behooves you or hurts you. Your principles should be unchanging. I don't like this at all. Well, if you said you didn't like Trump and you said you were going to leave, then they're going to round you up and take you out of your... What? How American? How... What liberty that is? CB said the Southern Cross, the rebel flag. The flag was reinvented during 50s racism. Other Southern battle flags seem to be ignored, even by the woke. Well, I mean, it makes sense. It's the one that I don't know what other flags we would be talking about, but I mean, we got the Gadsden flag and the Confederate flag. What other flags are being used like that? If the America First Caucus doesn't completely replace the Republican Party, I think the country is doomed. Yup. This is the last hope. So I was talking to who was I talking to? I think it was Biff. Shout out to Biff for those of you who know Biff from a Discord. I think I was talking to him, and he's very in the know with things, but I don't hear him talking about politics. Just a friend. And I brought this up to him, and he's like, "Oh, no, yeah, like I know politics. I've just gotten past the phase, I guess, where I feel like unless I'm going to make it my entire life, there's nothing I can do." And a lot of people are getting there, and it's this kind of sentiment that gets them there. Sippy said it's impossible. The globalists won't allow it. I hope you're wrong, but I don't think you are.
That it. Your word is binding. Yeah. Bye.
By the way, I want to contrast that with something, though, that the attitude here, if the bad guys win, we're not going anywhere.
Nope.
That's what makes us different, is that I'm going to raise my grandkids here. Yeah, it might get to be a dystopian hellscape. I'm not leaving. You can't force me out. I'm never going to give up. I'm going to be an annoying mosquito in your ear for as long as I have breath. I'm not going to leave.
Yes. That's Charlie's Wolf of Wall Street speech.
I love it.
Which I love.
Building bridges. Building bridges.
But what's going on with Gen Z when we see them sort of parading for Hamas? There's something there.
Haram.
And at the tip of the spear, it's like hatred and disdain for the country that you live in and that you're born in. And you're looking around the world and being like, oh, they're all doing it so much better. Show me a perfect country.
This is a demonstration of not understanding what the fuck you're talking about. Yes, all these Zoomers are talking like this because they're fucking children. They are children. They don't know any better. We were all fucking stupid kids. We just didn't have TikTok. Now, of course, it's an issue, but the issue is that the teachers are directly teaching this stuff to the kids. It's not all kids have stupid ideas. That's not a problem. It's when the adults guiding the children are giving them the stupid ideas. That's the issue.
And you know what? Move to a more perfect country if that's where you're at. But today you brought up a stat in your awesome speech, sick speech. Give it up for Charlie's speech today, by the way. Sick speech. So sick.
Where are you?
Yeah. 2032.
2032.
2032. Remember that number.
Nope. Not voting for him.
But high school students, Charlie, are tending to be more conservative now because they're probably seeing what's going on in colleges and beyond.
Which is precisely why everything you just said in the last 3 minutes is null and void.
So explain that.
Yeah, so it's the Hill.com conservative poll, high school boys most conservative in 50 years. I think you can pull it up, but high school boys conservative Gen Z.
If you haven't seen this, or you definitely, or you want it pulled up, just put one in the chat. I think we've all kind of seen this, but the measurement of how much more liberal each generation is. It's always been like, we take the silent generation, and the boomers were a little bit more liberal, and then the Gen X was a little bit more liberal, and then millennials a little bit more liberal. But you find that Zoomers, in comparison to millennials, are not that much more liberal than millennials, as the millennials are that much more liberal than Gen X. And Gen X is a lot more liberal, so on and so on and so on. So it's not that they are more conservative. It's the degree of liberalism has gone down by a significant degree. This is just one big circle jerk. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating because PVD usually, we saw him with Ron DeSantis. We saw him with Anthony Weiner. Hard hitting. But now I'm realizing that, of course, this isn't his home turf. He's a guest. The Valuetainment team is a guest at the TPUSA event. And I'm just now putting together that, of course, it's going to be a circle jerk. They can't, they're hosting the event. So he said, just like the Depression overhauled the U.S. economy and the NWO overhauled the global economy, we are getting to a point they cannot artificially inflate value anymore. So they have to break the world enemy or economy. Yay for bus boom cycles. No, you got that part right. To break the world enemy or to break the... I got you. Opus said, there's always been a communist socialist movement in academia and Hollywood. It waxes and wanes, but I've never seen it gain this much mainstream credibility. We need Gen Z and Alpha to be more conservative. And that's the way things are looking. That's the way things are looking, is that, again, the average, in, let's say, in 20 years, it's likely that the average Zoomer is more liberal than the average millennial. But again, the degree to which that is the case, if you compare that to how much more a millennial is going to be more liberal than the Gen Xer, again, on average, then it's going to be much more liberal. The millennial is going to be a lot more liberal than the Zoomer is more liberal to the millennial. You guys get what I'm saying, right? You saw the charts and all that. Just put one in the chat if you didn't see it.
The headline isn't as good, actually, as the data. Yeah, high school boys are the most conservative they've been in 50 years. Young ladies are pretty liberal. That's it. Yeah, high school boys are trending conservative. I think there's a really great poll that accompanies this. They did a couple stories at thehill.com. But yeah, look, that's it. That's it. Yeah. So that's 12th grade girls, and then you go down to high school boys. Yeah, the girls that's not good.
So
and then the boys, you got to really scroll. They bury the lead here, Patrick. They don't even have it for the boys. Or they got rid of it. The boys are the most conservative.
I mean, it was the first thing that I pulled up here. So come on, get rid of this shit. Okay, so this is what we are talking about. So the political identity of 12th grade boys percent identifying as liberal or conservative. So it is a dichotomy. There's only red or blue, conservative or hey, speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. You speak his name and he appears. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party, brother. Not much, unfortunately. Not much. A little bit of a circle jerk. TPUSA, Turning Point, put on this AmericaFest 2023 and invited the Valuetainment crew. And I was expecting, a big pushback, but I guess I didn't put together that because Charlie is part of Turning Point, and even though PBD can give those hard-hitting interviews, that it's a little bit soft. It's a little bit soft when it comes to Charlie. But that doesn't prevent us from being able to see the difference between a good interview and a bad interview. But Daniel, I was just talking about the national anthem video that you had sent me that I had done a reaction to, because apparently there's some hullabaloo with LeBron not standing for the anthem and people assuming that it's the end of the world. And as much as I definitely respect the anthem and believe that people should respect it, I don't think that there's much of a story if you just sit while it's happening. That's pretty much it. So we are on to this this recent poll. So it starts in 1975. And so this is the boys. So only 17%. Okay, I was sorry. I guess it's not out of 100, but so only 17% in 1976 said they were more conservative than liberal. And you can see, it goes on and on and on and moving around here. And then in 2009, of course, Obama was the only time that since the cross in 1980, the only time that the liberal the 12th grade boys identified more as liberal was in 2009. And then, as you can see, a sharp decline, a sharp difference. And it's interesting how you see the liberal kind of plateauing down here. And you see this way up high in 2020, and this is also coming down. Interesting. Trey says, the fact that Gen X made this problem with the way they raise their kids is funny to hear them complain. Yup. It's the Gen X and the boomers, because my parents are boomers. A lot of my friends' parents are boomers. It's the people who made them. I will definitely not argue with the fact that the millennials are the worst generation as a millennial. But it's not our fault. We were raised the way we were raised. Daniel says there's no point and never will be a point. Enforcing people to respect our national anthem, enforcing people to respect the national anthem. It is something you have to do on your own. I prefer LeBron be honest with us than lie to us all. That's exactly what we're saying. It's like, what do you want it to be legislated that you must, under a threat of being arrested? That's not going to make him like the anthem anymore. And exactly what you said. I'd rather know who's deciding to sit. And guess what? That's the way it should be. This is America. The only place you're allowed to hate the place you're in because it's so good that you don't understand how good you have it. America!
They've been in 50 years, and for a lot of reasons. Look, young men are first and foremost, PBD, this is it. Look, 50 years, most conservative in 50 years. You go back to 1975, they haven't been that conservative. Wow. PBD, you deserve a lot of credit. A lot of young men look up to you, PBD. A lot of young men look up to you. And you're a great role model for them. You're a great father, you're a great husband, you're a great entrepreneur, but you're part of a community of really outspoken men. The Tate brothers, which, people aren't all fans of them, but they.
Interesting. So it's an NBA rule that you have to stand for the anthem. And I agree with that rule. I still just don't fucking care. I just don't fucking care. Again, as we already know, it's not like LeBron was, some flag waving fucking patriot to begin with. So when and the other thing too, specifically, and you let me know if this is the talking to liberals or if this is legit. But definitely with black athletes, there is definitely a the shut up and dribble notion, way more than you see with white athletes. But then he doesn't say anything, and he just embodies the values that he wants to embody. And you still have a problem with it. So it's not the fact that he doesn't like America. It's not the fact that he didn't stand for the anthem. It's the fact that he doesn't agree with you. America. So my neighbors and I all fly American flags. Most of the anti-America BS is in Hollywood and among Zoomers who are clueless. Yep. The main thing we need to teach Zoomers is that online and Hollywood is not real life. Hell yes. Hell yes. Global money, global problems, comrade.
They've done a lot of good, calling out a lot of nonsense. Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, Matt Walsh, you kind of list them across the board. 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old young boys are gravitating towards this genre of content. Unapologetic alpha male, high T, right? Loving the country.
I think it's nationwide.
Free speech. It's okay if you disagree. Let's get into the arena of different ideas. And
Hold up. It sounds like He's talking about something that maybe we've talked about
The
on
board,
this channel
14,
before.
15, 16, 17-year-old young boys
Let's
are
see.
gravitating towards this genre of content.
Okay, gravitating to this genre of content, and he lists some reasons. Let's see if there's reasons that I've talked about before.
Unapologetic alpha male, high T, right? Loving the country, free.
Okay, loving the country. Okay,
free speech.
Free speech.
It's okay if you disagree.
It's okay if you disagree. I mean, I have a fucking banner. Or that's that. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that was a little bit. I was thinking of the stop trying to win the argument and just have the conversation. So we're 3 for 3.
Let's get into the arena of different ideas, and it is freaking out the left. And because they're getting their news from social media, over the top podcasting, that sort of stuff, and you see it happening, PBD.
Yeah, and we are winning. We are winning. Now, this is a great analogy, metaphor, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that Tim Pool used. That if you're on you're playing football and you're on offense and you get pushed all the way back to your own end zone where you have to go a full football field to score. You're all the way back here and you got to be here to score. You're going to push all the way back here. This ain't good. But if you're here and you get to here, even if this is the 50-yard line, you're still moving in the right direction. And if you don't understand that and capitalize on the momentum, you're just going to have little wins here and then pushed into safety, ironically. Then Opus said we need to raise up actual good role models so kids have someone else besides Andrew Tate to fall into. Exactly. And we can't just say, go to church, look at your priest, because they're fucking raping children.
This is one of the great signs of hope. At Turning Point USA, we see it every single day. Young boys are going to shock the world. I'm telling you, they're going to shock the world this coming November. I'm telling you, they're going to shock the world.
Charlie, actually, so I want to make sense of these numbers because there's actually a story that just came out in the New York Post that actually is very worrisome. Okay, because it's basically tells this story. And you talked about have kids, get married, do it as young as freaking possible. So if you look at that story, no, not the fertility. Go back to those numbers real quick, Rob. So just break this down for me. Young men are getting more conservative and young women are getting more liberal.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so here's the story that the New York Post talks about red flags in dating. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Here's the number. The most common red flag for men, 2/3 agreeing to this, were women who had communist and socialist ideology. So they're basically like, yo, I ain't fucking with these communists.
That should be the #1 dating criteria, by the way.
Sure.
Never date a commie.
Yeah. Fully agree.
Never
All
date.
right, but how about this? For women, 75% would not date a MAGA Republican. So here's what's going on here. The men are getting more conservative. The women are getting more liberal. How the hell are they ever going to get together, Charlie, and make those babies?
Now it makes sense why you're not married yet.
Oh
as a
my
MAGA
God, I got
Republican.
it.
And it also
Closet MAGA Republican.
So
all
it explains why so many women are becoming lesbians. I'm not kidding. It explains
Facts.
why. No, I mean
Facts.
obviously
Facts.
because they want what they want, which is they want liberalism. So they go after what is liberal, which is single women.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't want a MAGA Republican.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get this straight. So you don't want a man that's going to treat you well and protect you and provide for the family?
Of course they do. Women don't know what they want. Come on. So Trey's saying, you're right. Black athletes are always told to shut up and play ball unless it's something they agree with. Like the black dude who didn't want BLM on his jersey. They parade him on the right. Like, I mean, this is a joke, right? And I think you guys can definitely attest to the fact that I'm not somebody who's going to, push race bullshit. But like, this is a real thing. This is definitely a real thing. And so if they don't say anything, they're wrong. If they say something, they're wrong. If they don't say anything, but they do something that you don't like, they're wrong. But if they act exactly the way you want them to, then it's like, oh, yay! It's just, it's slimy. It's slimy. And it doesn't seem to be intentional, which makes it a little bit more insidious.
And is going to nurture and raise good kids and love the country and live the American dream? Like, what exactly do you want?
Right.
And the reason is because they've been propagandized by the media, by academia, by their friends, by the music that they consume, that there's something toxically masculine. And I don't believe them, actually. Deep down, even the most liberal, neurotic woman, she dreams of a strong, muscular, high-T man in her life. The problem is, here's what it is. The root of modern liberalism, and Tucker says all the time, is these are young girls with daddy issues. It's what it is.
Yup.
Mad at dad. Oh, dad watches too much Fox News. Like, okay, get over yourself. Honestly. Mad at dad is the driver of, like, the broken politics that we see right now. So how does this reconcile itself? Well, honestly, at AmericaFest, I could tell you, the young women here, they want MAGA Republicans. I could tell you, they want MAGA Republicans. And
They all do. They just don't know that they do.
honestly,
And they don't have small hands either, Charlie. We all know that.
Eventually, we're just going to outbreed these people. We are. I mean, we're going to have more babies. And 20 years from now, they're going to say, why is the country so right-wing? Well, you were too busy having abortions and having gay sex and not wanting to get married. And we got married and had kids, and we will repopulate the species.
By the way,
I'm not kidding, by the way.
You can be left, right, center, logical, emotional. That is by far the most logical argument you just gave statistically that cannot be argued because it's proven. It's going to happen, period. It's just going to take 2 decades. It's going to take 2 decades.
Give us some time, everybody. Buy us some time. Buy the Constitution some time. AmericaFest, by the way, if you look at the young people here, check back 20 years from now, it'll be the population of Wyoming. Right? I mean, Mormon levels of children will come out of America.
We got to have Mormon level of kids.
Well, yes, we got to get our testosterone rates high. Young ladies got to get married, and we have to have the babies. And by the way, I mean, the Bet David family, you guys are doing your part. But no, all joking aside, having children is not a left-wing value.
Based, but sounds like we should be there next year. I would be down to go. I would be down to go. Film everything, make all the good content. Hey, let's grow the channel and get it done. So we're going to finish up this last chapter here. As you can see, we're coming nearing on the end. And then I'm going to do a short reaction that I'm going to clip separately. If you want to stick around for it, cool. If not, it's only going to take a few minutes. And then we are headed to the after party. If you don't want to stick around for the reaction, you can just head over to the after party, and I'll meet you there. It's just going to take a few minutes. I'm just doing something with our Sean, who's calling out the lead attorney. I'm trying to set up something devious, and I don't feel like coming down here and doing something separately, so I'm just going to add it on to the end of this.
It's not important to them. It's just the data. Like, I'm not even reading into
So maybe if that's what you're saying, maybe let them keep talking about abortion and let them keep doing this stuff because they're just going to get smart. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Interesting question, because of course the answer to that should be no, because of the baby is dying. But like Emma Vigilant, she would say, in the reverse, she would say, well, yes, of course, that's exactly what I want, because that gives me political points. I don't care what happens in the country. I just need to win.
Yes and no. The point is this: abortion is a moral crime on the country, right? I don't wish that on anyone. But the truth of the matter is this: is that if left-wing people keep on not having kids, whether it be by abortion or, being in homosexual relationships,
or cutting off their genitals,
how exactly they think this thing is going to work? I mean, this is why, honestly, they want to import so many people from the third world into this country, which is backfiring because they have to have some way to try to stop all these right-wingers from having babies.
I got 2 stories I want to do before we wrap up. We got 2 more stories before we wrap up. How many of you guys here are familiar with CRISPR-Cas9?
All right, so we are going, they're going into a whole other thing there. We have just crossed the 2.5 hour mark. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. I really, really, really do appreciate it. I think, even though this, like Trey said, this is a little bit of a circle jerk, it's important to understand what is happening, what is going on, what are people saying. This is what we say every single time. It's not about just watching this for entertainment. We are doing work here. We are doing legwork to the point when we are able to decide, hey, we want to get this done in society, and we have people, we have the numbers, we have the drive, we have people who are willing to go out and knock on doors, who are willing to send emails and call people and get shit done, then we're going to get that shit done. So thank you so much for hanging out, guys. I am going to give you guys the shout outs before I do this reaction thing in case you want to dip out. So shout out to Zippy the Strange. gifted 2 different memberships. Shout out. And remember, if you got gifted a membership, head over to Discord and send me a DM so I can give you the permissions to get into the after party. And we also have a tie. I'm going to call it a tie between the 2 comments of the night. We had Bill Bradley and the irony of people whose entire belief system is premised on there being no right and wrong, claiming to be right. It's not lost on them, or it is lost on them, but it's not on me. And then over on Twitch, crucified for my opinions, talking about being a drug addict, and then voting for Hillary. It's like, well, that's understandable. You have to be a recovering addict to vote for Hill Dog. Thank you so much, guys. I really, really, really do appreciate you. And just being able to hang out with you is every day, every single time, I'm realizing how important this is to me. How important you guys are to me. How important all of this is. So thank you so much. Let's do this. I'm gonna run the end, and if you want to hang out for the reaction, then you hang out. I'll appreciate it. But if not, I will see you in the after party. Or if you are not a member, I will remember there's new videos every single day, 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you've not subscribed to the channel, what the fuck are you doing? It means so little to you, and it means so much to me. Come on. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time, once again, I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, I am out of here. Peace. All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. All right, so let's see, what are we doing here? So yeah, my boy.
A lot of women feel it.
So if you're familiar with Darshan McAway, he's been a guest on my previous I Didn't Read Your Book podcast. And he just came out with a brand new book, Husband versus Boyfriend Duties. And when I first met him, it was to talk about his first book from 10 years ago called Girlfriend versus Wife Duties. And so he's written other books in between, but this is the opposite, basically just saying, hey, if you want to be in this position, this is what it takes. This is what you got to do. And all right, so then I want to get into a little bit where he was talking about TLA.
You guys are fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. If you're so balling, you got to control, you ain't got no worries. I don't have to interview anybody. I can call this shit a day after this. Girl, you to catch up. What's your mentality? I can tell you right now, pure white wedding dress. It is better for you to be clean as what age they are, preferably. Have sex with that one person for the first time. There's a meme and a video out there about OJ Cinco talking to a Shannon Sharp, saying that Shannon Sharp, the Ultra Prince ain't her first. No matter who he is, that person will always be the person. And here we are as men. Yo, everybody telling us 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 feet tall, over a 6.5, whatever. You know what? Be that guy, and all the women that want you. That's not true. That's not true. It's not true. All the money in the world, and if you come off just too polite,
come on,
be nice, because that's what they wanted. That's what they were
around the 30 minutes.
Oh, read it. This what's up? Hold on. Let's get in there. Hold on. The Indian Jesus said I'm struggle streaming. This ain't up. He says, struggle streaming. LOL. I'm cooking. Yo. He literally wrote the book on the difference between the boyfriend duties and husband duties. Absolutely. He said he's broke. I'm already lost my V card. And then he says, no, you good. It was the cam. Okay, for sure.
Okay.
We're leaving this up as is. If I'm struggle streaming, I told the studio in the building, y'all go check out You Shade Me. And on the right side, I had sex with Snake. Your advice don't work for me. I got a memoir coming out called As You Can. I'm supposed to get into my tip-top shape of my life to please a woman. It takes from me again. I've watched you guys for years. I've sat patiently behind the scenes for years. I've studied every single one of you. I've studied you. Every last second. To do what? Fresh and Fit. To do what? Donovan Sharp.
There we go.
To do what? The lead attorney. To do what? Dennis Sperling. To do what? Obsidian. To do what, fellas?
All right. Now we're getting into it.
What's the reason? So many women, and I made it on time. Let's type him in here. Let's put in the Indian Jesus is in the building. Y'all go check out his YouTube.
All right. So let's do this. Boom. All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. How's everybody doing? I just wanted to share a quick clip with you guys. Things are heating up. Things are heating up. My boy Darshawn McAway is the man is a library of information when it comes to not just dating, relationships, long-term relationships, men, women. I'm not saying he's with men, but he knows what is good and does a little bit of a call out here. And I figured you guys might be interested in it. So let's check out what we got.
YouTube channel. He's a good guy. He's been doing this thing for a long time.
Oh, that's me. He's talking about me.
And I appreciate people who appreciate me, for sure.
Let's get into it.
And one thing coming from, made it to the top. I'm the guy who's telling you that I've been through everything, that when people tell me their advice, I've done it. And it's like, your advice don't work for me. I got a memoir coming out called Inability.
Another one?
Inability to be who you want me to be. You want me to become this. Every man in this world is going to tell you, make 6 figures and above. Try to be 6 feet and above. Get in the best shape as you can and above. For what?
I mean, they told me it was for a woman.
What's the reason? To please a woman? That's the reason?
Well, I mean, I want a family.
I'm supposed to get into my tip-top shape of my life to please a woman who's going to get in my life and take from me, receive children from me, and then at some point says, I don't want to be with you, and takes from me again, and then takes everything that I work for. Get in tip-top shape for what? Explain it to me. I've watched you guys for years. I've sat patiently behind the scenes for years. I've studied every single one of you. I've studied you. Every last single one of you. And none of you make sense. I'm supposed to be the most perfect man in the world to do what?
I mean, it sounds like he's got answers that is very different than what we would hear from Red Pill and Manosphere. And obviously, it's become very clear in at least the last 12 months that the Red Pill community, the Manosphere, is not what it seemed to be. Certainly after the death of Kevin Samuels.
To do what? Fresh and Fit.
Be happy.
To do what? Donovan Sharp. To do what? The lead attorney. To do what? Dennis Sperling. To do what? Obsidian.
Calling out the lead attorney. Oh, shit.
Obsidian. To do what, fellas? Manosphere. Black Manosphere. White Manosphere.
I mean, TLA got 20 years of experience. What you got with TLA?
Asian Manosphere. To do what? To say that I can't determine that I don't want this chick in my life? I can do that at the gas station. Come up to me. She see my car. It's nice. It's clean. It's shiny. I'm fresh. I'm putting a couple dollars in my gas tank. Hey, that's your car? Yeah, it's my car. Oh, what's your name? My name is. Oh, what you doing tonight? Not you.
I'll take it.
So we sitting up here promoting to men, young men, no matter what their financial caliber is, we're promoting to men like we go, yo, big dog, make us all the money you want in the world, win the lottery, get the top career, go to the highest education in class.
Very Mystic is saying you don't get in shape for a woman. That's the difference between men and women. Women get in shape and get their stuff together for themselves. Men need to start taking care of themselves for themselves. Hell yeah, man. I mean, that seems to be the message that even if it goes, I'm not saying you should go to Fresh and Fit for relationship advice. But if you want to bang a bunch of bitches and you don't know how to do that, then it'll at least point you in the right direction. When it comes to the lead attorney, this man is a 20-year divorce attorney. He's been in the courtroom. He's represented men. He's represented women. He's represented children. Let's see.
academics and academia if you want to, but the women gonna come after you. Of course they are. Listen to the metaphor. If you chase money, women will always be there. Of course they will. Of course.
Right. But
duh. If I go after the money and I'm making the money and I'm working so goddamn hard to make it and I don't have enough time to spend it, of course, my life is going to show that. It's going to show I'm living in a mansion. It's going to show I got money saved up because of the car. Of course. You become a target.
Target.
You become a target of romance. You become a target of emotion. You become a target of physical stability.
Interesting. A target. The idea that you have all of this stuff. You have all of this stuff. And now they just want to, you're a target. Okay, I'm starting to see where he's coming from. I'm starting to see it.
Oh, that's the guy I want. He can provide for me. Of course. Why would you want to put yourself in the bullseye? It makes no sense.
So what should we do instead, Darshan?
It makes no sense. I listen to all these podcast creators. I listen to all these fancy, smancy 20-year attorneys. Oh, I'm a 20 mucho gusto. I got 20 years under my belt. I bet you that 20-year attorney never showed you the template to what it takes to get divorced. He never showed you the standard template of what it takes for a man and a woman to get divorced.
Shout out to the man himself on the screen, Darshan McAway. Spitting, cooking right now. I'm out here, I love TLA. But Darshan's got something to say and he's got a new book. So I'm listening. Welcome.
To show you what you up against when you get a divorce. He's never showed you that. I bet you I did.
You good girl. So that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. That boyfriend versus husband duties is going to be much better for your life than listening to Fresh and Fit or the lead attorney. I would definitely expect that with Fresh and Fit. But I mean, that was a straight up call out. Mucho gusto. That's TLA.
There's a template to the justice system. Mm-hmm. You guys are such in a rush. Oh, I can't wait to get with a girl. I can't wait to get a fiance. I can't wait to get a wife. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to have a baby. Ooh. But I'll show you right now. I'll put it on the screen.
Let's see it.
You never even
you're talking a big game, dude. You're talking a big game. Let's see it.
What a prenup look like. Scan that QR
let's
code.
Let's pause that. I can't. I'm obviously not gonna be able to show it, but I gotta see what is good with this. Come on, baby. Oh, it's not new on the screen. I'll do it later.
Oh, you never even seen what it looked like, and you such in a rush to get married. Oh, that's my girl. I love her, and she told me that if I do this and do that, that she would never. Not my girl, coach. Not my girl, coach, but no attorney has ever showed you the template to each and every situation that's going to happen to you when you go through a divorce and you want custody. None of them would do it.
Well, to be fair to TLA, he definitely is somebody who pushes prenups, and he definitely talks about this kind of stuff, but I'm just coming from the position of what I don't know that he's taught me. So, and from the very first moment when I was interviewing him about, I think it was his first book, girlfriend versus wife duties. And I'm like, well, why are women asking you what they should be doing as a girlfriend versus a wife? Oh, it's because they want to be your girlfriend or what? Okay, we live different lives. Got it.
You know why? They need that money from you.
Oh, is he essentially saying that that though money is more important, is he essentially take two? is he essentially saying that though money is more important than physical fitness, because I might agree with that. Money is more important than physical fitness? I don't agree with that. I think he's saying the opposite. No? I think regardless, it's you were a lot closer to what you were saying before, that men need to start taking care of themselves for themselves. Because that's what he was just saying. For what? For what? For what? Why? Who told you were supposed to do that? And I think it's this right here.
Oh, but he's trying to help. She's trying to help. They're not going to do it. It's right here. It's right here. You want to know the answers? Read the book.
Sold. So I'm going to check out this book and see what exactly. Shout out to Darshan. He just dropped. Actually, let me drop the link. He the book that this was based off, Girlfriend versus Wife Duties. He just released the audiobook for free, guys. For free. Where is it? It's on my playlist here. So you should definitely go check that out. And then he's got another book, Say Hello to Me, that the audiobook is coming out on audio New Year's, or excuse me, not New Year's Eve. What am I saying? The Christmas Eve. And where is the link? Share. There we go. All right. Boom. So that is the audio version of Girlfriend versus Wife Duties that you can watch for free. I have not gotten to it yet, but as soon as I leave here, that is what I'm doing. And then apparently Boyfriend versus Husband Duties has got something that can take down the illustrious TLA. I don't know. I haven't read it. I don't know what's in it. I ride for the lead attorney, but the man's been called out. Let's see. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again next time. Once again, that was Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, hopefully TLA will have a response, but I am out of here. Peace.